as radio impulses into space. All that they're being heard on every field telescope on the entire Earth.
Did you think it was?
How you doing? Oh my god. Start panicking. Everybody panic. What happened? Did you see the stream? You must have seen it. There's so many people in chat. Oh my god. Paul, Navy, Fuzzman, Danny, Schmitty, Christina, Sparrow, Twy, Susie, Brandon. How you doing? Welcome to the stream. Now, which one should we press today? Should we press the ninja button? Or should we press the I'm going to laugh at you for being stupid although you haven't tested anything yet button? We'll press that. Oh my god. I have never seen so much crap in one place. What did these children do when they were that small? Mummy never said no, did they? Hey Zion Ninjas, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. JGZ as well. Welcome. We'll press Ninja again. Fuck it. So yes, we're going to read them. Obviously, Gilliam and Brian did already read them. Somewhat. They skipped some of the stuff, but they gave us a quick overview of what to expect. But I am going to go through all the stuff. So if you have already read it, if you did already watch the live stream, I'm going to read this live anyway. So don't get ahead of me. Don't start posting stuff to be clever and go, oh, you haven't got to that bit yet. I'm going to talk about it like it's my information. Don't do that. It's fucking annoying and the mods will nuke you. So just bear with me. Have fun and keep up. Don't try and get ahead. Thank you for the follow. Much appreciated. Bit and cake in the chat. By the way, there is ESO music in the background, just so my headphones don't conk out. If it is too loud, just tell me. Missed notes because I couldn't lurk from work, but home, so I'll watch you. Nice! Right. Now, you know there's an update coming. You know it's Dragonhold. You know it's a finale to the Season of the Dragon. We don't know a huge amount apart from what we've been shown, although we can see it on PTS. Thank you, Wedge. But I am going to go obviously the details. You know, the shiny, juicy stuff that you want to hear. So I don't need to read all this, because most of this we can't see here. So new costumes, new item sets and all the rest of it. Visually, we can't see any of that. We can see the stats, but we can't actually see what they look like in terms of motifs, locations, mementos, furniture, all that stuff. We can't see it, so there's no point in reading it out. But we will go over this shiny stuff. And yes, I did watch the stream, but I do have obviously my own opinions of them, so I'm not going to share them. Now, should we start with the sets? We might as well. New dragons have behaviours that are not found in both Northern and Southern elsewhere. They did show that, actually. We will go over that. Did you see the Storm Dragon on their live stream? Fucking mental. It changes the sky and everything. Missed a bit of the notes, but about changes to elegant. Right, so, overland sets. Mag recovery, max magic, mag recovery, and when you cast a damage shield ability, increase your movement speed by 20% for 9 seconds. That's not the same as Major Expedition, so hopefully that stacks. If it does, you can see even faster sorcerers, because they'll be spamming shields and running like fuck. Not necessary, but why the hell not? Quite fun. However, although this may make them really, really fast, you have to consider that this is a 5-piece bonus, and that will remove one of their other 5-piece bonuses, which could be sustain, survivability, or damage. So if you are utilizing this set, it's just to make you quicker. You will lack in other areas. Hi Zion Ninjas, how you doing? Crash, welcome to the stream. Turn this up a little bit. If it doesn't get too loud. If this gets too loud, tell me. Can you hear the music in the background? Ooh, dramatic. What's next? Dragon Guard Elite. When you stack Dragon Guard Tactics for 5 seconds, or you gain a stack of it, sorry, for 5 seconds, when you deal direct damage to an enemy from front or sides. So, in the face of them, as Gilliam has already said on the stream, 5 stacks of them in total. Each stack increases your weapon damage critical chance by 476, when you can only gain 1 stack every 1 second. Now, it is fucking late, so we'll just... 2380 crit chance. That's fucking high. That can't be right. No, I guess it is. That is a bit ridiculous, to be fair. That's actually a bit higher than... a lot higher, actually, than what we've got already. So what's that? 149... no, 129. Zovkin's is 129. And that's half of it, almost. So that's twice as strong as Zovkin's without the Minor Slayer. Minor Tough... what's the words for it? Minor Force. Sorry, my bad. Music is fine, not too loud, good. Deathbringer, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Just watched today your Yogi build. Let's see how the patch affects it. You don't need to see how the patch affects it at all, because it's not going to be out for another month or so. So ignore everything as far as builds are concerned at the moment. Nothing is changing yet. Nothing is live. So get that out of your brain straight away. The build is fine for now. You got a month's worth of play at least. I'm going to discuss changes to bound armaments, even though they missed the patch notes. Yes, of course I am. Fire, how you doing? Thank you very much indeed. Hugely appreciated. Beer and cake in the chat. We have a Dragonborn, by the way. Kitty Rex. I did not see that. Dragonborn. Hello. You know the rules, people. The fight starts again from scratch. If you kill that Dragonborn, you will take a place in stream. I have to kill you instead of press the ninja button by accident. So, before everybody starts making that a trend, complaining about current updates, current builds, upcoming builds, and all the rest of it, it's not out yet, so chill your boots. So anyway, that's fucking nuts as far as crit chance is concerned. Stronger than Zovkin's, but without the penetration bonus and without the minor force. So if you are using Beast Trap, obviously, that will give you much, much higher crit than that set. So, hard to say. We'll see. Heavy set. Dealing direct damage with a non-heavy attack grants you 1 persistent stack of however the hell you pronounce that. Up to 10 stacks. After dealing damage with a fully charged heavy attack, you restore 5, 3, 5 stamina and magic for each stack. You can only gain 1 stack of it at 1 second at a time. So basically, Nightblade tanks would like this with their fast light attacks. And we're looking at what there, 535. That's a lot. It's just 5k. It's 5.3k fucking resources back, magic and stamina. That's insane. Oh, the fight has started. Get in, people. You know the rules. Crafted sets, of course, they did try to go full hybrid with these, which one of these I really did like. Max health, weapon and spell damage, weapon and spell crit, 300 weapon damage and spell damage, and while your health is over 50%, what? While it's over 50%, you have this bonus, and while you're under 50%, you have this bonus. So you get in and do loads and loads of damage, and then you get wrecked a little bit, and you survive more, so kind of a survival passive on the set, and you go back up and have loads of bursty again. So that, stacked with the vampire passive, obviously, and what's the other one that does that? Pariah would be filth. Thomas, thank you very much indeed. Hugely appreciated. Even Zone Ninjas. Aaron, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Is there a vault as well? Heist? There is a heist. Fucking hell, everything going on. Reduces the cost of your weapon abilities by 10%. Magical or stamina, whichever they cost. After casting a weapon ability, you gain minor heroism for 8 seconds, generating 1 ultimate every 1.5 seconds. See, that's fucking stupid. While in combat, this effect can happen once every 8 seconds. So, the cooldown, fair enough. But, minor heroism should really last 9. Because, if you're going by 1.5 increments, every 2 ticks will be 3 seconds. Well, that's not right, actually. This will be 1 over 1.5, 2 over 3 seconds. So, if you did that 3 times, that would be 9 seconds. If not, we're going to have one of these 1.5 second awkwardness things. Or not even that, actually. Half a second missing, a second missing, it's a bit poo-poo. If you're going to go by 1.5s, you need to stop it at a 0.5 or finish on a 3, basically. That might need to be altered. Otherwise, this is skew if... They tried to change some of the skills that did this. Like, you have a dot that lasts 10.5 seconds, and it only ticks every 1 second. It doesn't make any sense. Kaimo, thank you very much for the host. Hugely appreciated beer and cake in the chat. Thank you very much. You just gained some points as well. So excuse my jumbled up numbers, but that doesn't make any sense. That needs to be 9 seconds. But whatever, fair enough. Reduction to cost for weapon abilities, plus ulti regen, so it's not that bad. Although that wouldn't work out with Heroic Slash, which does count as a weapon ability, because you already get this, and you already get it for 9 seconds. This is the one I did like. New Moon Acolyte. 833 weapon and spell crit. 129 weapon and spell damage. Physical and spell pen. And adds 481 weapon and spell damage. And it increases the cost of your active abilities by 5%. 5% increase, depending on your class and skill types, is not that much. So, for argument's sake, using poison abilities as a Dragon Knight, you have a 25% reduction already versus other classes. So, this weapon damage bonus is fucking nuts. If you can live with a 5% increase while you already have a 25% decrease, that's fucking good. So for any changes, are you going to redo your build videos? Obviously. But you're going to have to wait until then because obviously patience is required. It's not out yet. So just let me get one patch out of the way at a time. None of this is set in stone. All of it could change drastically. A large amount of casualties. Oh shit. A couple of you got out. Congratulations. Thank you for the follow, by the way. Hugely appreciated. That music's too loud. Can't hear Captain Jack. Not going to look at titles. This, again, if you've got a class or a setup that reduces the cost of stuff already, this could not even affect you, this negative effect, and you just get a massive bonus. It's quite handy. Sub-Design chat. Star Chaser, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Batman, welcome. You never win heists. We're not going to go over collectibles. We can't see them. We're not going to go over motifs and homes. You can't see them. We are going to go over some of this. Oh, everybody kills Jeff. What the fuck, indeed. Congratulations. Thank you for the follow. Adjusted removing from area timer when leaving an instance group. See, this is funny. The timer is now 2 minutes when you leave a completed instance to allow for more time for quests to turn in and such. So this is when people always kind of just nuke the group and piss off and leave you on your own. You can't hand your quest in. Now you can. Anyone have the link for the patch notes? Yes, I do. You have to put patch notes in the chat. In fact, there it is. Also has 10 seconds when leaving an incomplete instance, so to make the process of finding replacement group members for actives much quicker. So before we were getting locked in, so the player would leave, but the instance would still assume the person is in there, which is a pain in the nuts. So that's been altered as well. This is too loud. Let me turn this down a bit more. It's too loud for me anyway. There you go. Battlegrounds, I saw this one as well. Accepting a ready check for Battleground will now immediately send you to the Battleground. So instead of having to wait for your whole team to be ready and everybody goes in at once, you go in straight away. And if it's one person on the other side, whatever. If it's 4 people, good stuff. Battleground will continue to find replacements for players that declined or timed out when a ready check. If the Battleground cannot find at least 3 players per team, after 5 minutes the Battleground will close and you will not receive a leaver debuff. So, you won't be punished for leaving. It will just say, do you know what, we couldn't find enough people, we'll go again. And for every single person that declines, instead of it trying to pull them back fucking through again, or it timing out, it now looks for somebody else, which is handy. Takes a deep breath and waits for new vid of easy sort sting if there's a change. You will have to just wait. It's not going to happen on the stream. Join stream wants to know when the fight is. Types fight, wins fight. Awesome. Nice. Fight has just happened. There's going to be another one in an hour. It's actually great. Yeah, it's pretty good. So this will help on the back end, and also that will help convenience-wise for us. I mean, it's a lot more convenient to queue up and not have to wait for fucking hours, and then just accept the fact that it's not busy right now. He's like, Ninjas, how you doing, X4? Welcome to the stream. Every week I can change the username again. Really? Alliance War, this is an activity finder, has been removed. The original idea was to help facilitate grouping in Cyrodiil, but based on our data we found it was rarely used. So that's gone. Note this section still appears in the UI for the time being. Okay, fine.
Drinks all around.
Thank you for the follow, much appreciated. We won't go over the outfit styles because we can't see them. Memory management overhaul. This is performance-wise, so those of you that are screaming about performance. In this update, we've implemented a new memory pooling system to reduce memory fragmentation. This fundamentally changes how we handle memory in ESO and will improve your experience by significantly reducing the chance of crashing from running out of memory. You may also notice minor FPS improvements. Stark Rome, you legend! Oh yes! 15 months in a row as well, confused stream, screaming. Beer and cake in the chat, people. 500,000 damage done to our current Dragonborn as well. You know the rules. If you kill him, you will take a place and stream will have to kill you instead. You may notice minor FPS improvement due to reduction of load in peak memory use situations, such as when lots of other players are affected in the... Other players or effects are in the area. Fair enough. You can change it to best set in ESO, elegant, and second set Parabellum. It didn't get touched yet. No spoilers though. We're going to go through them in time. Now this is fucking great. Next. 3-piece sets got altered because basically they're just not being used enough. Once upon a time they were OP as fuck. Now they're barely being used. So agility was 1.4k stamina and 193 weapon damage. Now it's going to be 206 weapon damage, which isn't a massive bonus overall, but 1,752 stamina. Almost 2k stam on that instead of 1.5. Not by much, but it's enough. It will make a difference. Potentate is dirty as fuck. Matt, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Reduce damage taken by players for the 2-piece bonus. And reduce the cost of ultimates by 15%. That's currently set at 10. That is very, very nice. A 3-piece bonus that fucking powerful is going to be quite desirable when that comes out, if it stays the way it is. The old one used to just give stam recovery and 10%. Now it gives reduction to damage and reduction to ulti cost. That's insane. Eagle Eye is a bit shit at the moment anyway. So the original one increases the range of bow abilities by 3 meters. The next one is going to give 1,829 weapon crit to direct range abilities. Your snipes are going to crit a lot more. Now, while in PvP that may not be that helpful because people pack the shit out of Impen and reduce their damage they take from crits anyway, PvE bow builds, that might be somewhat useful. Especially if you are trying to use a couple of weapon sets alongside a 5-piece set, alongside a monster set, alongside a 3-piece set. So that could be quite helpful. How XynodeGaming, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Potentate's looking good. Nords will love it. Yes, he will. Even XynodeGaming having a good night. How much have I missed? Not much, dude. We're just over the 3-piece sets. We're seeing the new sets. Now we're just going over the remakes or the updates of some of the others. Endurance is originally 1.5, almost 1.6k health and stam recovery. Now it is almost 2k health and health recovery. Still, I would like health recovery to have some better application in some areas because I don't think that's effective enough. Mostly in PvE actually, especially when most people are vampires anyway. PvP it can be fun if you stack and stack and stack and stack it, but then you can just get the file to fuck. So Kizuki, thank you very much indeed. Hugely appreciated. Beer and cake in the chat. If heals scaled with health recovery, yeah, that would be quite nice. 500,000 damage done to our current Dragonborn, who is sitting on 800,000 health. Remember, if you kill them, bottom left-hand side of the screen, you will take their place and stream will have to kill you instead. Beer and cake in the chat. Dragonborn rules in the chat as well. Irish Sage, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Saw part of the Professor stream just before. The whining in the chat was insane. It was absolutely pathetic. I've never seen so many entitled babies kicking off. Now, Grace of the Ancients at the moment is increase the max magic by 4%, so it scales off of your stats. Whereas now it's flat stat, 2.4k increase, which is actually fucking huge. That's higher than any class passive. Very nice indeed if you're going all flat. Now this one hasn't changed that much, although it's still pretty fucking broken. Max health and 1.5k magic stamina and health when you kill an enemy. Instead, it's going to be 2.1 of all the resources. So that got buffed. It's already strong as fuck, to be honest, but it got buffed. Oh well. There's a zone guide now to help you see what you haven't done. Yes, there is. I can't remember how to play this game. I haven't played for years and have spent hours of my time in this game with the characters right now. I can't remember what stuff I have done, so I'm going to start a new account and waste my time on it again. You don't need to. As Riansu has just said, there is a zone kind of finder feature now, so you can check everything that you've done. Stack Potentates and Akaviri Dragon Guard. That is already a build, by the way. And we'll put it in the chat. Malcolm in the chat, please. It's already been done, Star Chaser, but yes, of course, they do stack. Although stuff like that is multiplicative, so it might actually be a little bit less than it was before. Some Junior Jet, a little saucy with the crybabies at the end was fun. Yes, indeed. Willpower got boosted as well. Instead of 1.4k magicka, it's now 1.7 and 200 spell damage, 206 instead of 193. I think these could have been pushed a little bit more in the flat stat, but I mean, the resource is nice. I would like to see a little bit higher spell damage. I don't think that's a massive jump, but it's a buff nonetheless. Could you zoom in a bit more on the page? No. Wrath of the Imperium. Is it not that easy to read? Dear oh dear. 1 second. Never had this issue before, so I don't want to completely destroy what you can see and what you can't see. Is that better? Ooh. Is that better? I'm not going to go that close. So many new changes. Yes, there are some new changes. We'll make it a little bit bigger. I'm not going to make it too big because it's in my face, remember. You just have to have a bigger screen. Also, I am speaking. Need more zoom. Tough shit. I'm on a 46-inch screen. I can see it easy. That's what I thought. I'm not going to zoom right in. There's no need. What have we got up to? Wrath of the Imperium. Originally, it would give 833 spell crit and 129 spell damage. Now, it still gives the crit without the spell damage. But it has 1.8k spell crit to direct ranged damage ability. So the same as the... Where's it gone? It was up here. Eagle Eye. So the magic version of it, basically. Welcome, Weepin. How you doing? Welcome to the stream. On iPad, I can't read it at all, so I'll just listen. Yeah, I can't zoom in and zoom out to benefit everyone. Some of you are on small devices. Some of you are on large TVs. You will just have to listen. Enjoy. You're on a 17-inch laptop, and I have no problem reading it. This is the thing. If you want to read it, rather than listen to me, you can just go and read the patch notes. But I've zoomed it in as far as I'm going to go. Ran across something on PTS that's not in the notes. How do you feel about that? You're going to have to wait there for a moment, Stark. I am doing this in order, so be patient. He killed Stan PvP, and that was someone crying. Welcome. No crying in the chat. It's fucking boring. Good thing you updated your bill so you can do it all over again next month. Welcome to my job. Raccoon, thank you very much. So, Undaunted Celebrations coming up as well. We won't go too much into that, obviously, because we can't see the majority of it, but pages are coming back, obviously. Thank you for the follow. Hugely appreciated. Where the hell are we? Activity Finder. This is an update for this. Leaving the queue while finding replacements may fail when it lines up with these known issues. They are known issues, so we've got some bugs at the moment. These ones you can actually read through in your own time, because I'm sure people are going to test these anyway, but there are issues with the group finder, even though it's being updated. Morgani, thank you very much for the follow, much appreciated. Not crying, I'm just spreading the opinion of more people than you think. That is false. I know how many people are complaining, and spreading it is not going to make it any better, nor is it your idea, nor is it clever. Shh, stop crying. We're trying to read the patch notes. If you don't like it, go and complain on the forums rather than complain on my stream, because I'm not fucking Zos. If on a phone or tablet, pinch the screen and zoom. Origami goes, wow. Fairy, thank you very much. Hugely appreciate this fucking Dragonborn as well. Oh my god. We're never going to get through the notes. You know the rules, people. Beer and cake in the chat. We have a Dragonborn. If you kill him, you will take his place in the stream. I have to kill you instead. Dragonborn rules in the chat. Sure, Fang Rush and his orcs love it. They're on a different stream right now. Austin, if you want the patch notes, just put patch notes in the chat with an exclamation point at the beginning and you will get the link for it. Because Us said they get their Facebook and forums. We know how balances are. Okay, fine, whatever. Now, Necromancer, Gravelord. So, due to many current targeting issues with the corpse's tether abilities, we are allowing Shocking Siphon and its morphs as well as restoring Tether and its morphs to bypass the global cooldown. We are currently working on alternative methods to improve the target of these abilities, as well as improving the reliability of created corpses and their durations, but are not ready to implement them quite yet. We're aware of frustrating nature of the attempt on these abilities, which is why we have added a small stopgap measure in the meantime until we can properly solve the issue. Okay, we knew corpses were an issue anyway, so fair enough. Platts, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Boneyard, increase the base cost of this ability and its morphs to 4.9k up from 3.7, so that's expensive, and decreased the damage over time ticks by 33%. So there is a bit of a theme going on with this particular update, and that is a lot of damage has been reduced. Let's face it, we don't need 100k DPS anyway, not for any content, and anyone that says you do is a fucking moron, so don't worry, we'll be absolutely fine. However, if you are worried, the PTS is active and you can test stuff out for yourself and see if it's really worth crying about. We'll see. Never complain until you've actually tried it, otherwise you're just looking at it on paper and assuming. Don't assume, test it. Did they replace CPs with VRs? No, they didn't. Frozen Colossus disability and its morphs will now only apply major vulnerability to enemies hit by the final smash rather than any enemy. This will reduce the total duration to 3 seconds, down from 5. So basically, it's a 3-second duration, but the first hit would apply it for 3 seconds. The second hit after a second would reapply it and start again. And the third hit would reapply it and start again. So you'd have 2 seconds for free. Now it's only the last hit. So you will have to obviously focus a lot more on when you time this, but you have to make sure that you throw out all your big stuff when the last hit has been applied. All the crying over the patch notes is the real reason the sea's levels are rising. Plug your ignorance out in the ozone layers, those cat the planet. Do you want? I used to watch that. Also, don't think that people realize how hard it is to keep 100k DPS rotation next trial. Well, that too. Yeah, because most of them can't. Shock and Siphon decrease the damage per tick of this ability and its morphs by approximately 33% as well. And Skeletal Mage, this one hurts quite a bit actually, decrease the damage per hit of this ability and its morphs by 50%. Now 33% reduction to the damage over time, just the same as it is for this area of effect damage over time. We expected those to be the same. This one, this direct damage hit from this, which kind of counts as a dot, it's a bit weird. That's a big drop, but that was very, very high in the overall damage output if you were passing on a Necro. Pet just got boned. Fucking hell. I'm here because I've only been playing ESO for a week. I don't know enough about the game to have an opinion, so listen to a veteran player seems prudent. Thank you very much. Welcome to the stream. Here's a tip of advice for you. Don't panic. This happens every single patch update. Every single PTS phase, which normally lasts about 4 to 5 weeks, of changes, lots of them. A large proportion of the community, or a small proportion of noisy people in the community, generally just try and burn everybody's houses down and complain and cry and kick their feet and quit the game because we really care if they do. Where in actual fact, 9 times out of 10 it ends up being okay. So don't worry. Thank you for the follow. Panic flip tables, they're breaking the game. You mean the broken game that is dead? Don't rush power level indeed. Goliath, Pummeling Goliath morph. Fix an issue where activating the special bash attack from this morph would turn your character to face wouldn't turn your character to face the direction it's cast in. Okay, minor bug issue there. We're not going to go over achievements or housing or quests because we can't see them, and this is subject to whether you are playing them or not. Maybe some of you are, maybe some of you aren't. Even Zai, how much did I miss? Not a lot. About 25% of it. Skip that stuff. General, what's this? Nope, housing. The cubed achievement now correctly states that it can only be earned in veteran. So that makes sense. So people can stop farming it on normal. Unfortunately, some people do, and they wonder why it doesn't work. Last patch healers were pointless, didn't they? They said it would be. Yeah, exactly. And they were fine. Try Magswap and Stanley K and Magpie, just dungeons so easy. Yep, and things are going to be altered again. So, again, bug fixes. We're not going to go into those. Glacial Prison no longer leaves a consumable corpse upon death. Right. General abilities for combat and all that good stuff. In our continuing efforts to improve server performance, we have refactored how sprint functions on the back end. And, have I read that right? Functions on the back end, and have made some changes to the design. So, on-foot sprint will largely function the same way as it has done in the past, though we've decreased the stamina cost of sprinting, which result in being able to sprint for longer. So if you do have to run out of trouble, Or if you just like run around in circles, you won't spend as much stamina. You'll also notice the stamina drain is more fluid in the UI. Now, Gilliam did say about this in the patch update, actually, the stream, where he said it disappears in chunks, whereas now it's going to gradually slow down. On-foot sprints, mounts will now stop sprinting when their stamina is fully drained. However, we've decreased the stamina cost of mount sprinting and greatly increased both stamina and base recovery for mounts. So you will run out of juice, you will stop sprinting, but you can get it back quite quickly. We'll be closely monitoring how these changes affect your ability to traverse Tamriel in an open feedback based on your experiences. So they're listening to people, basically. What did I miss? Templar is awesome, Templar is our main, and Xynode has an off-balance Templar build that is so much fun. Thank you very much. Many Necro nerfs. They're not that bad. And we haven't tested it yet, so we don't know. New DLC, I see when it's meant to drop. We don't have dates, I don't think. In the efforts to improve performance, the visual effects of some player abilities have been updated. These changes focus on which players can see specific parts of the visual effect, and when the visual effects should be removed from view. This is an ongoing process that will be maintained over time. Note that the caster of these abilities will not see much of a change, if any, while allies will see much less of a visual intensity. The following abilities have received adjustments: Radial Sweep, Aurora Javelin, Puncturing Strikes and Morphs, and Sun Shield and Morphs. So for people standing next to their friends, watching them throw out loads of shapes, these were apparently the most stressful, and they've calmed them down a bit. So when people saw this on the stream earlier and they thought that this was all nerf these abilities, well, no, that's visual. PTS, aka everything can change. Pretty much. To be fair, Necro was overperforming there for a bit. Well, yep, so is everything. We are playing content that doesn't require much more than about 50-60k DPS at maximum if you want to burn stuff. If you want to complete it, 30 is fine, and we're cracking 100. We're way overpowered. So they had to bring some stuff down. Updated many of the more widely used champion point passives and nodes to be handled more efficiently on server. They did go over this kind of stuff. They made it so obviously it doesn't keep checking if you need to kind of prompt your passives, and it only works when you actually need it. As a horseman of the apocalypse, I can confirm the end is nigh. I'm not cracking 100. Well, you can. People can. Let's put it that way. Destroying a siege weapon no longer procs item sets. I think they did mention these. Fixed an issue where you could resurrect other players while remaining invisible. Arrows will no longer blink in and out of existence when bar swapping. Stun abilities such as Rune Prison Petrify will no longer fail to stun targets that are not currently CC'd or CC immune. That was broken. Petrify especially. Fixed an issue where dealing physical, poison, or disease damage over time would break stealth. Pets that could not deal damage have now received therapy for their anger management and will no longer attempt to pull their owners into combat from nearby enemies unless provoked. Pets are stupid. They never do as they're told. Adjusted many knockback abilities to send the target flying faster so they reach their end position sooner and can begin taking action quicker. So you hit the ground faster, basically. Now, this is the part that people have been crying about, but we'll see what happens. Adjusted the standard from damage over time abilities to no longer deal approximately 2.5 times the damage of a traditional spammable attack, such as Force Shock or Lava Whip, and now deal approximately 1.25 times the damage over their duration. Specific changes will be listed in the skill line section. So, for everyone complaining about fucking dots, first of all, before Soul Trap was an option, pretty much every other skill apart from the one spammable people were using per build were dots anyway. So we got added, what, one extra dot, sometimes two, and people went, oh my god, dot meta. That was stupid. Anyway, the complaints about that, which made you OP as fuck, by the way, have been listened to, and they have reduced the amount of dot damage that you do. Quite a bit. So you got what you asked for. So this is not allowed. You asked for it, you got it, stop crying. But that could still be changed drastically. This is day one. We've probably got 4 or 5 weeks of this. If there is cheap Destiny. Oh my god, Batman. No dots are nerfed. The game is dead now. Feels bad, man. Oh, it was a good run. Indeed. Where are we? Area of effect damage over time abilities will now once again mirror the damage of the single target counterparts. Instead of dealing approximately 33% less damage, to ensure they do not always beat out the single target counterparts, they will now cost approximately 66% more resources per second to maintain their single target counterparts up from 30%. Their standard durations have increased to 10 seconds from 8 seconds as well. So although they do cost more, you won't have to cast them as often. So scales tipping a little bit there. That also means with them lasting longer, you may be able to fit in a few more spammable attacks, which is probably going to not be that far off what you're doing already. My build is a stam blade dot rip. Not indeed. Not bleh, words. Not at all. We'll have to find out. That's not a problem, but approach to deal with this is wrong. Have you tested it yet? Then I suggest you test it before you complain. Healing over time abilities, both single target and area of effect, no longer adhere to damage over time standards due to their limited application and accessibility. They have not received any adjustments this patch, but are being closely monitored. So vigors and all that kind of stuff that people were expecting to get nerfed have not been affected. Many morphs that change the behavior of original parents, such as, where am I looking? Such as eruption or solar barrage, are not fully adhered to some of these adjustments, such as power or cost, but have been kept within the range of power to ensure they do not wildly overperform compared to similar abilities. Okay, we'll see how that works out. Do you think we will have more identity now? Depends what people class as identity, because this is the funny thing. The majority of the people screaming class identity were only saying those words because the cool people said it. What they actually did is they put the same setup on every single fucking class, using exactly the same weapon skills, exactly the same dots, exactly the same ground AoEs, and then screamed class identity. If you wanted class identity in the first place, you probably should be using your class skills. The way people approached it is what happened. But we'll see. It does look like they are changing some of the skills for the better, especially some of the Sork stuff, a couple of bits there, and the DK stuff, which looks quite cool. But we haven't got there yet. I know about it, but we haven't got there yet. This class identity, I'm happy. There or there. Science the shit out of it first. Exactly, test it. Player source snares are now additive with movement speed rather than multiplicative. Did explain that already. Auras from abilities such as Ebon will no longer fall off your allies when bar swapping from an active 5-piece bonus. So if you've got sword and ball in the front, sword and ball in the back, and you swap bars, you don't lose it. Shouldn't anyway, but now you don't. Same goes for, obviously, Worm and Hurricines and shit like that. Abilities and item sets that grant physical and spell resistance now grant an equal amount of both as a singular stat. Armor rather than 2-piece stats. Ooh, or 2 separate stats even. Many item sets that are granted X spell or X physical are now granted 5 times armor. This was done to ensure total power remains the same when less... How the fuck do you say that? Variance, sorry, I misread that completely. In these stats. Passive that grant a unique source of 1 have not been adjusted. Okay. Major and minor resolve now grant an equal amount of physical and spell resistance, and major and minor ward have been discontinued. Let me read that again. Major and minor resolve. They grant an equal amount of physical and spell resistance. Oh, so they got rid of it. Ward is gone. It's just resolve. So it's 2 bonuses in 1 buff, which it pretty much does anyway. If you have it on a skill. Then it is 1 million DPS Nightblade tank. Do it. Ebon weapons are no longer noob trap. Thank you very much for the follow. None of this has not happened to fracture and breach or forms of penetration. Fair enough. Burst through the wall and face plants in the floor. Doom, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Beer and cake in the chat. Buffs and debuffs. Diseased. Fixed an issue where this status effect was reporting that it applied major to file when it actually applied minor. Okay, so that's not supposed to do that. All debuffs and status effects are normally a minor effect, not a major one. This one's quite funny. Casually identify as a one-shot healer DK. Nice! Good stuff, Trash. This ability and its morphs now last 10 seconds at base, up from 8. Increase the base cost by quite a bit, actually. Instead of 2.8, it's now 3.5. And reduce the damage per tick of the damage over time proportion of this ability by... portion of this ability by 47%. So a massive reduction in damage there. Engulf in flames. This morphs bonus flame damage taken now scales off of your spell damage. 1% for every 333 spell damage. You have up to a maximum of 10%. So, if you have 3.3k spell damage, that will give your group 10% increase to flame damage. If you don't, you can't. Which means tanks that are using it right now, if you have low spell damage, you are applying a low bonus. So you want to pump up your spell damage, or let the DK come in and stop leaving him outside with his mates. Not very nice. This is really cool. Siren Strike, thank you for the follow, by the way. Much appreciated. This ability and its morphs now last 10 seconds at base, up from 8 seconds. So that's got longer duration as well, same as the ground-based AoEs. They changed DK dead class. No, they made it so the one dealing fire damage and scaling off of max spell damage is the one that can benefit the group, rather than just slapping a skill on. So, it's quite nice. Why would anyone tank in medium armor? Light armor, fortified brass, nothing. Batman and his trolling. I could tank in medium armor, but a certain set Xy hasn't covered yet. Yeah, we're getting there. You have to be patient. Increase the base cost of this ability to 2.9k up from 2.1, but that will be fine anyway, because we have a reduction if you're using the poison one in cost anyway. This ability and its morphs have gained the new functionality of immediately applying their respective status effects to the enemy upon cast. So, instant burn and status effect, instant poison status effect, whichever one of the two you've got. So wait, I'll make DK's better now. What's wrong with them already? Nothing's wrong with them. They're fine. What they've done is they've altered the skills and their application. This has got less damage, but it does apply the bonus to your group, whereas tanks that were using it before need high spell damage to benefit from that 10% increase. It was too easy to put it on something that wasn't utilizing it as a damage skill, even though it's designed to be one. Now, the more damage output you have, the stronger it will be. Reduce the damage per tick of the damage over time portion of this ability by approximately 60%. That's quite a lot. So, I main a DK, and I'm not doing this. So, I know for a fact we've got to test it, but that is a significant drop. Molten Weapons. This ability and its morphs now grant Major Brutality and Sorcery at base. Now, why is this actually helpful? Well, because while you're leveling, maybe you're using some magic abilities, maybe you're using some stam abilities, maybe you're using a bit of both. You're not quite sure which way you want to go with it. So before you morph it, you get the best of both worlds. That's quite handy. This morph now increases duration to a further 42 seconds, up from 32. And also increases the radius to 36 meters, up from 28. Fuck me. That's a buff for your group, by the way. That's insane. If that's going from 42 seconds at rank 1 instead of 32, and that goes to 36 already, that's going to go close to 50 seconds. That's a really, really long buff. That's nice. Rework this a bit. Oh, Stone Fist. This is about time, actually. Before it was always 42. Yeah, level 1. No, it wasn't. It's 36 at the minute. It used to be 39.8, I think, a long time ago. Now it's 36. As you can see here, rank 1 is 42, which will be quite a lot. We'll have to check it to see exactly how far it's gone up by. DKP just killed all other classes, everyone riot. This... You don't need that anyway, Theory, because you can already do it. You've already been able to give Major Sorcery to everyone for a long time. 2 patches ago, they made it for 12 people. Oh, man, Swindy, how you doing? Swindy, sorry, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Stone Fist. Rework this ability to be a stamina-based spammable attack. Throwing rocks. Knocking shit out. Thank you very much for the follow. It now deals physical damage like it used to at launch, since it's a rock, which makes fucking sense. With a reduced range of 15 meters down from 28, so it's quite close range. Increase the damage by approximately 66%, but no longer deals double damage if the target was stunned. So this is going to be quite cool. You're going to be a Dragon Knight throwing out poison and slinging rocks. I want to see that in action. This ability no longer stuns the target outright, but instead applies a stack of stagger to the enemy. That's a new one. After 5 stacks, the enemy will be stunned by the next Stone Fist cast at them, including from other Dragon Knights. If the target was stunned, all stacks of stagger are removed. So you could quite literally get 5 DKs and just stun the fuck out of someone. That's actually quite funny. Reduce the cost of this ability to 3.4k from 4k. That's still quite expensive. You need some cost reduction in there. So basically, your stun DKs are just going to be in the dungeon, pelting the end boss with rocks and calling it a loser. Yeah, exactly. That's going to be really funny. Could you imagine in PvP, you stand there with your sword and board, you see 5 DKs, you go, come on then, and they all start throwing bricks at you, and you just get shut down. That's fucking funny. Stone Giant. This morph no longer grants minor resolve after casting, but instead enhances the stagger mechanic, where enemies affected take 25 extra damage from any attacks per stack. This effect cannot stack from multiple sources. So, if they're stunned, that will increase the damage of it. Fair enough. Obsidian Shard. This morph remains to be a healer-focused ability. Increased the healing by 3.3% since it was missing a rank-up progression. This morph now deals fire damage instead of magic damage and heals 2 friendly targets up from 1. So 2 people instead of 1 target, basically kind of Breath of Life type idea, but still difficult to aim. You have to hit the target to do that. Fire damage is interesting because obviously as a DK you do want to take advantage of fire. So throwing rocks to nuke people or throwing out fire to do heals. Fair enough. Anyone without sin can cast the first stone. DK's hold my beer. I know, right? It's fucking mental. Not everyone will be getting stoned in PvP. It's like they're not already. I'm still the eldest Aussie in the game though. Are you really? Life of Brian springs to mind. Man, you were already there. That is exactly what I was thinking. Teleport Strike, Lotus Fan. This morph now applies minor vulnerability to all enemies hit rather than the original. Increases duration to 10 seconds up from 8 and decreases damage per tick to down by 47%. So, again, more dot reduction. Aspect of Terror. Fix an issue where this ability and its morphs would fail to display effects if animation cancelled. Pardon me. Shadow Cloak. Fix an issue where the critical bonus from this ability could be consumed by abilities that could not critically strike. So procs and shit. I got hiccups really bad. So many changes what to do. Test stuff. That's what you have to do. Fix an issue where the attacks from this ability and its morphs were heavily desynced from their animations. So a visual issue. The teleport of this ability is now 22 meters down from 28. So the same as chain abilities or charge abilities. This morph is meant to operate on our gap closer or create a standard. Yeah, the same thing as I've just said. This also prevents confusion in areas where the tooltip range would increase for the teleport but fail to actually increase. Dark Shade morph. Decrease the damage per hit of Dark Shade by 15%. That's not a lot. I thought it would have been more than that based on the other damage over time type stuff. Increase the radius of the area of attack by 6 meters up from 5. The Shade will now use its area of attack set on a timer rather than having it per chance attack. So it's a lot more guaranteed, if you know what I mean. All of these changes, and I still haven't caught up with the last. How you doing, Zam? Welcome to the stream. There's loads of stuff, dude. Also, a really good mood. Bats, this is usually a bad sign. He is in a good mood. Twist and Path. Decrease the damage per tick of this morph by approximately 33%. Saw that coming. AoE reduction. Or dot reduction, sorry. Cripple, decrease the damage per tick of this and its morphs by 50%. Drain Power, this ability and its morphs now grant Major Brutality and Sorcery at base. Same as Molten Weapons or Molten Armaments or whatever the fuck it's called. You got a choice when you start out the game. Which one do you choose? So if you're built for stamina and you buy an ability that used to give you Sorcery at base, that would have been a bit useless, quite hard to level up with. Now you get both, which is handy. Just watching these Pattern Note streams and playing WoW these days. Can't keep up either. Power Extraction. This morph now reduces enemy spell damage. So a debuff. Very nice. Thank you for the follow. Much appreciated. Soul Tether. This morph now also heals for half of the damage dealt upon the initial hit in order to help increase the defensive nature of the skill when you successfully cast it. Fair enough. No reduction or anything, just shinies. Charge Lightning Synergy. Fix an issue where the synergy was not properly applying the Major Berserk to the Atronach it came from. That was a bit awkward to pick up sometimes as well. It's going to be like mended for PvP or what? Yeah, but they'll stack, dude. They'll stack. Reduce the damage of this ability and its morph's basic attack by 17%. So that is not a massive reduction. So that didn't really get nerfed that much. It's a small amount. Increase the cost of the special active of this ability and its volatile familiar morph to 4,000 up from 2.8. That is expensive. That's quite a bit. But then with your reduction to cost with light armor passives and all that, that will probably go back down again quite a bit. So it's not too bad, but a bit of a drop there. Increase the duration of a special active to 10 seconds. So they increase the cost, but they also increase the time. So balance again. It's going to drop in damage, obviously per hit of its basic attacks, but there's going to be more of them. Weighing that up, it's not going to be far off. The base cost of summoning abilities has been streamlined to 3,510. Looks like they're aiming at 10-second rotation intervals. Yeah, more spammy stuff in between. Only been back in the game 24 hours, 3 weeks away, and now all the dots are altering before they skill them up. I continue to stick with the burst die cannon concept in Cyrodiil. Yep, whatever works, dude. Stick with it. Where did we get to here? Clan Fear! Thank you! Right, I've been complaining about this for fucking years now, actually. Basically, if it's not clear, Clan Fears, I mentioned this yesterday, actually, are set with physical damage. Now, if you understand how the game works, physical damage is scaled off of stamina and weapon damage. But that stat for that pet was wrong. The scaling for the physical would only work if you had high magic or spell damage. But because it was fucked and that's not how it's supposed to work, that would be the only thing to boost it, but it wouldn't go anywhere because it wasn't enough. So it was the wrong way around. Now they've made it so that the damage morphs scale with your max stamina instead of magic. I got called an idiot for this because apparently I was wrong. Well, clearly I wasn't, because look, they fixed it. Decrease the cost of the special active to 4.5k down from 4.8. You're not really going to notice that at all. Sounds like less DPS, and I'm not sure about sustain, but less time of watching and more flex slots. So what sorts of like interest in testing later on? Yep, always test. The area effect attack now deals the same damage as the basic attack, but hits in a 6 meter radius up from 5. Fixed an issue where the AoE attack would cause a Clan Fear to re-evaluate its purpose in life for 1 second after casting for lower DPS potential. Now, the reason I found this out a long time ago that it was broken is because I tried to make a Stam Sort kind of hunter build before the Warden was out, actually, using the Hunt Leader set. And that's when I found out the stats were all wrong. It took them almost 2 years to fix that. They must have had more important things to fix. Overall thoughts on DK DPS changes both mag and Stam. So far, so good. We'll see. We have to test it. We can't just say it's great or it's shit. We don't know until we test it. Also, Stam Sorks have a persistent pet. They do. Fuck my life, just finished all 18 of my tunes on level 1 PvP for Transmute Stones. Nice! Loads of points. Summon Winged Twilight. Increased the heal of this ability and the Twilight Matriarch morph to be closer to the heal power of Rushed Ceremony. This will result in approximately 87% increase from base and approximately 55% increase for the Matriarch. Note that these abilities will continue to scale exclusively with maximum magicka. So, the healing pet got boosted to fuck, which is insane. What does it look like? What does it look the meta is shifting towards? It looks like no matter how many times they try and go one way or no way, Zos is pressing no and saying, look, you've got more choices. Which is the way the game was designed. And the more people try to make it Warcraft, the more they're going to fail. 87 is a big number. Yes, it is. All classes now dead, indeed. Bolt Escape. The fatigue from this ability and its morphs will now apply only if you successfully teleport 1 meter or more instead of whenever you activate the ability. This was because people would teleport into walls and not move anywhere and just get their fatigue, which was a bit shitty. This ability and the Ball of Lightning morph no longer stuns a target in 4 meter radius from your original location, but instead stuns the targets in a 6 meter radius at its final location. So basically your enemies are here and you bolt all the way over here. Those enemies would usually get stunned. Now you have to aim at them and stun the ones you're aiming at. So it's an attack. Fix an issue where you could become stuck in place after attempting to cast his ability and many of its morphs when the target was outside of your line of sight. Getting tired of the whole chicken little, the sky is falling down. Yeah, it's a bit shit. Will you hop on PTS or wait until it's live? It's on PTS now, so I will obviously do PTS stuff. Max up PvP group healer. It's how you doing, True Mantis? Welcome to the stream. Ball of Lightning morph. This now ranks up in duration of the summoned Ball of Lightning, which now has a 3 second at rank 4, up from 2. This morph also adds 2 seconds of snare and immobilize immunity after teleporting. Streak. This ability now creates a cone behind you after casting a damage and stuns enemies inside of it. The length is now 17 meters with a 40-degree arc rather than being a flat rectangular AoE. This means that the ability will require more precise aiming when attempting to land on top of an enemy, but will require less precise aiming when attempting to cast near an enemy. So, if you're trying to escape, I mean, obviously it's not so bad, but if you're trying to get in there, you have to be really careful. Increase the base duration of this ability and its morphs by 10 seconds up from 8. That's Lightning Splash. So, the original morph of Liquid Lightning, like the first base one. Increase the base cost up to 4.9k instead of 3. That's quite a lot, but again, remember, we have a longer duration. Reduce the damage per tick by approximately 33%. We knew that was coming, but if this one has got a longer duration, that means Liquid Flood will have a longer duration at base, which means this damage drop wouldn't be too bad because that one does do more damage and you'll have a nice uptime on it rather than having gaps. So that's not necessarily a massive drop. That might actually be a bit of a benefit. The reason I'm not using that on the easy sort for the most part is because the duration falls off. You can, but it does fall off occasionally, so you have to be careful. Whereas this might close some gaps. Eki, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Max Augur is already amazing. Group healer and PvP. They're good group healers anyway. Surge's ability in its morphs now grant major brutality and major sorcery at base. Again, so you can make your choice early on and go one way or the other without being penalized for having a buff that won't benefit your setup. Templar, piercing javelin. Reduce the range of this ability to 22 meters instead of 28. That again is the same as other gap closers. Will function over scatter shot and fiery grip. Yep, fair enough. These abilities will now ignore the target's physical or spell resistance to ensure they have a unique auxiliary effect. So this goes through resistances. The javelin goes straight through, as a javelin should. So that's somewhat of a buff. Patreon link, thank you very much. VMA build went to 95k to 75 on PTS. Gutted. I'll do my own stuff. Don't worry. What you're probably testing is flat out, but I'm gonna make my own adjustments if I have to. But we'll see. Also, thank you very much for the follow. 75k is still a fuck ton of damage in actual content. It's shitloads. Prof, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Javelin's going to be brutal in the right circumstances. Yes, it's going to have 0 pen issues. Will you stream PTS? Probably, but you have to wait until I get through these first. What's next? Puncture and swipe. Strikes even. This ability and its morphs will now snare the nearest enemy hit by 40% every time it deals damage, rather than snaring the nearest enemy by 70% at the final hit. So as soon as you start slapping stuff, it gets slowed down. This ability and its morphs will now properly be considered direct damage rather than a hybrid of direct and damage over time. If you know enough about Templars, you will know that the stabby is actually scaled off of Thaumaturge, which is damage over time, and still actually scales off Master at Arms as well a little bit, which is a bit weird. They've fixed that and stuck to what they decided it's going to be, and it is now direct damage. So Master at Arms, no need for Thaumaturge for that. No, there's some item sets will still proc this if they are in need of dot damage to do so. So maybe Vulcan Scroll will still proc from it when it's not supposed to, but they're going to be looking into that. Here, Magpie, old school Ravager, such excite. Gotta do farm Skaven Mage. Skaven Mage works on it anyway. So if people say, oh, I should be using that now, or then even when the future update comes in, you can use it now. It already procs off of it. 5k, holy cow. Excuse me. What's 5k? What did I miss? Oh, you're going ahead of me. You're going to have to be patient and wait. You're looking at the spear shards. This ability is morphs now. No, done that one. Update the visual effects so they can better sync up with its attacks. Yes, indeed. This is why, yeah, don't read ahead. Otherwise, it defeats the object of me reading it in the first place. And if you do, don't put it in the chat. Plus, it's got nerfed by 2 seconds. I know, we're already reading the patch notes live. This is, you don't have to tell me what's in there. I'm reading it. Initial hit was direct damage, and I always thought 20% chance was enough for justification for me, but every hit is direct damage. It always proc, dude. Always did. Spell Power did as well, because you technically heal off of it if you're using the Puncture and Sweeps version. Spear Shards. This ability in its morphs now lasts 10 seconds up from 8, so longer rotations. But instead of 3k, it costs 5 almost, which is disgusting. Again, longer duration. Don't have to use it as much. Over a long period of time, I don't think that's going to make a massive difference. When will this go live? Not yet. A few weeks. Also, things could still change. Reduce the damage per tick of the damage over time proportion of this ability and the luminous shards morph by 53%. That's quite a lot. Blazing Spear. Increase the initial hit damage of this by 10% because it's a direct hit, but decrease the damage over time by 59%. That's a lot. Shit. But again, lasts longer. Whatever. Just wondering when's the date. We don't have a date yet. Backlash. This ability in its morphs, Final Explosion can now critically strike. What the hell? You know when this can stack up to like 22k damage or more and it can't crit? Even if it shows a crit, it can't actually physically crit? Well, now it can. Power of the Light. Oh my god. Purifying Light. The heal over time from this ability will now, as the tooltip insinuates, always apply after the end effect via any means such as being purged, being recast, or ending naturally. So if you recast Purifying Light, it gets removed, or it finishes normally, you will still get that heal. The light cannot be stopped and shall purify all. This also means that purifying light will count for 1 less negative effect from purging. Fair enough. Wait, does the Templar have hilarious crit options to begin with? Yeah, of course it does. It has a 10% increase to crit damage. Splatter noises. Is there a link for the notes? Yes, there is. It's in the chat. Eclipse fixed an issue where reapplying this ability or the unstable core morph to the target before the original expired could cause issues with the cooldown effects. This morph now only snares targets for 60% rather than immobilizing them. Excuse me, and reduces the healing by approximately 10%. Unstable core, however, reduced the initial and secondary damage dealt of this ability by approximately 44% and the final hit by 25%. So reduction there. These attacks now happen in a 5-meter radius around the target as the visuals insinuate. So it is what you see it as, basically, rather than being confusing. Paralyte is back in rotation. Maybe. Sunfire, not Sunfire, Solar Flare. Solar Barrage. Increase the duration of this and its morphs to 8 seconds up from 6. Now, technically, that's 8 anyway if you have the passives, because you get 2 seconds on top of your Dawn's Wrath abilities. But that now means that your rotation will be much, much cleaner. Although the damage has been reduced by 30% per tick, that is a light attack buff. So, longer duration on the light attacks. It will fit inside your rotation nicer. Although the damage on the skill will be down, you'll probably get 2 or 3 more light attacks out with the empowered buff, whereas before you wouldn't. So that technically could be an actual buff. So, although the ability's gone down, your light attacks will be stronger for longer. Technicalities indeed. Bob on the Dragonborn right now. He is. This is true. Oh my god. Did you have a fight? No, you robbed the vault. You sneaky bastards. I didn't even see that. Fixed an issue with Major Prophecy from this ability and its morphs would only occur if you dealt damage rather than upon activation, as the tooltip states. Increase the base duration of this ability and its morph to 10 seconds up from 8. Again, that goes actually really, really high, and you do get a higher increased time from your passives, so that's going to be a really long dot. Increase the base cost to 2.9 from 2.3. That's not going to be massive, especially if you don't have to apply it as much. And decrease the damage over time of these abilities by approximately 60%. We've seen this pattern already all the way down the patch notes. They have reduced dot damage quite significantly. Restoring Light, Cleansing Ritual, Ritual of Retribution. Reduce the damage over time of this sort of ticks of this and its morphs by approximately 33%. AoE went down again. Oh, City. Thank you very much. Love how they said that most of the changes were going to be aimed towards the DK, Sork and Warden, but Templars almost have the most change of them all. They do, but there's a significant change to the DK style, especially with Stone Fist. Stronger for longer. What did I miss? Got that far. Fix an issue where this ability was unable to be cast while silenced. Ooh. Restore and Focus is the... No, that's the Stamina Morph. That's why. Rite of Passage fixed an issue where this ability could cause health desyncs when used while taking heavy damage. Desyncs are an issue full stop. Animal Companions. This is fucking nuts. I actually like this quite a bit. This ability and its morphs now grant Major Brutality and Major Sorcery at base. Every class ability that has a major bonus to Brutality or Sorcery seems to have an update now where the base version of it lets you decide while using both. But the base ability no longer restores magic every second while active. Of course not, because it gives you both stam and magic bonuses in terms of your output. So why should it only give you one resource type? So it doesn't give you any recovery to start with. But these abilities now remove one negative effect from you every 5 seconds. So while that's channeling, constant fucking cleanses. Constant. You don't have to keep spamming it. You can actually stick to your rotations and get cleansed for free. That is incredibly powerful. Really, really handy indeed. Free fucking cleanse. Reduce the duration to 19 seconds from 22. Which ended up being, what was it, 25 seconds overall? Something like that. Oh, they've done it here as well, actually. Now, the Blue Betty morph. This morph reinstates the Magicka Restore functionality. So it gives you this, but gives you the regen. And the Bullnetch one gives you the stamina. So they're both basically the same as they are, but with this extra bonus here, which is fucking insane. It will make your Yogi even better. Yeah, because you're out in the middle of nowhere getting hit by loads of dots and shit, and you just keep knocking them off. Just keep falling off. Did they nerf the Warden? Not really. No, that doesn't look like a nerf to me. They buffed the Warden through the roof. The Warden's so far looking pretty good. What this mean for a new Templar player like me? I suppose saving my skill respec scroll was a good idea. Well, first of all, saving a respec scroll is a good idea as a new player anyway, because you never know what you might like later on. You want to change stuff. You can always change stuff. But as a new player, since you're not aware of changes because you're presented with whatever you've got at the moment, I don't think it'll be too bad. You're just learning a new game, just like everybody does when they put a disc in the game, in the machine. In PvP, 5 seconds can be very long. It can be, but it's still free. You don't even have to keep spamming it. You can be doing something else while this is cleansing you yourself. Dive. This ability has received a new functionality to help it stand alone as a spammable, but has received some reductions in base functionality that were in place to make up for the fact that it lacked any gameplay altering effects. Reduce the damage of these abilities by 10% and increase their base cost to 2.7 from 2.4. But if you are at least 12 meters away from the target, upon dealing damage, these abilities will now set the target off balance. That's a bit of a game changer for concussion and lightning wall of elements effects, because if someone can do this all day, you won't necessarily need that. Although, you might still want the minor vulnerability. Cutting Dive. This morph no longer reduces the cost of the ability beyond the standard stamina cost reduction. It now applies a bleed, listen to this very carefully, to the target for 7 seconds if they are off balance, however, because which will stack up to 7 times. So if they are off balance, you can hit them with the pigeons and every single one will stack a bleed up to 7 times. If you time that perfectly though, because off balance is 7 seconds anyway. So if you start and initially apply it, there's your first bleed, and then just keep chucking and chucking and chucking and chucking. This spammable, depending on how strong the bleeds are, could be really, really nice. They used to be, I just broke respec in my main. Respecs aren't expensive anyway. It depends. If you've got loads and loads and loads and loads of skills, it can be. Swarm, increase the cost of this ability and it's more to 2.9 to do with their new functionalities. These abilities now apply minor vulnerability to the target for the duration of the dot. This here, this swarm, and this pigeon throwing just took away the need for concussion and lightning wall of elements, if you have this present. Because this applies a minor vulnerability, which comes from the concussion status effect, so keep that dot up. And this applies off balance, and if you're using it as a spam ball, you should be able to apply it every single time it runs off. So your off balance build is basically using these two skills on a Warden, which is fucking insane. Although, that would be single target, not AoE. So that is where the lightning stuff would come in handy. These abilities now, read that one already. Decrease the damage per tick of these abilities by approximately 50%, which is quite a bit. Now you have to put patch notes. My body's ready for the new Ogi build, even though your new one literally just got released. The new one is going to be fine for the next like 4 or 5 weeks. Then maybe we'll have to change stuff. Maybe not. We'll see. I'm losing my voice. Grown Swarm. This morph has been redesigned into a stamina-based ability that deals bleed damage. The Swarm no longer spreads to nearby enemies upon completion, but instead deals damage to enemies in the area around the initial target. The damage is roughly 25% of the initial target's coefficient. So this will do a dot first and then have a swarm afterwards that just runs around and does loads of damage over time. The bot will get it, don't worry. Good evening, Zion Ninjas. How you doing, Vin? Welcome to the stream. Oh, that easy pop off balance effect abilities, that easy sort of controls. Sane, you won't listen to me. I'm not going to repeat myself, but I did just go over that. Arctic Wind. This ability and its morphs have regained the original function of Arctic Blast and deal frost damage in... My eye is pissing up really bad. In 6 meter area around the caster. While the heal over time persists. So while the heal is on you, you get damage and area of effect. This damage scales with your maximum magical and spell damage, however, to prevent compounded power for tank builds. Basically, the thinking behind that is they don't want your tanks to have massive damage and be tanky at the same time. You're one or the other. So, by the way, I don't know if you know already, but they said they forgot to put change for the Sorcerer in the patch notes. I am aware. I will go over that. I'll probably even demonstrate it. Clean build, thank you very much. So this is a damage ability while given a small heal. Not something that can completely refill a tank's health and do damage at the same time. Arctic Blast. This morph no longer converts the ability into an awkward projectile stun. Instead, the ability has inherited Permafrost old functionality where enemies hit 3 times in rapid succession of the ability are stunned, and the stun cannot be blocked. So if you're too close to someone using this ability and you get hit 3 times, you're fucked. Crystal Slab. This morph now has a 500 millisecond internal cooldown on the damage return and magical refund, similar to those abilities such as Dragon, Fire Scale, and Live in Dark. Fair enough. Don't see any issues with that. Winter's Revenge. Decrease the damage per tick by 33%. Ground-based AoEs all got reduced anyway. Excuse me. Thoughts on changes? How do you feel about Stamcrow? Will change? Will it still be nearly as good compared to other classes? Yes, it will be fine. No, we haven't tested it yet. And my thoughts on it are the whole point of this stream. We've already gone past those. Permafrost. This morph no longer stuns enemies who are hit multiple times by the effect, but instead increases the duration of the ability by 1 second per rank up to 12 seconds. Fuck my life. 12 seconds of major protection. That's insane. And also guarantees applies chilled status effects with each tick of damage to the targets. So anyone close by is constantly minor maimed. And you've got major protection for your group for a whopping 12 seconds. That's huge. Permafrost, we wanted nerfed, is no longer an ultimate. Basically, yeah. Synonymous, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Cleve. Done a DPS test on PTS with Stamina Car at the moment. Thank you, by the way. It's amazing. And I went down to 65 from 92. I'll do my own testing. Whatever you're doing, crack on. Carry on with it. Carve got altered. Reduce the damage per tick of its morph by 60%. Now, that does affect the cleave build. But that damage over time, although very nice on single target, in area of effect was mostly being utilized for the dot just ticking anyway. Just ticking anyway was the point of getting the Azura Blight to fire, and that's what we want it for. So as long as that still ticks in damage, I don't really care. But we'll see how different that is in single target. Overall, I only use that as one active dot while spamming Wreck and Blow anyway. But we'll see. I mean, it stings, but it's fair. It is fair. Stun proportion is active ability, and that's what everyone go mad about. Yeah, well. On PTS, you can basically get all the gear extremely easily. Yes, they're all in boxes. Saying no more, you legend. Thank you very much. 500,000 damage done to our current Dragonborn. Beer and cake in the chat. Thank you very much. Crit charge, Stampede. Increase the duration of this morph up to 10 seconds from 8. Good, because that 8-second duration was really fucking awkward. And reduce the damage per tick by 42%. Again, ground-based AoEs reduced a little bit. That was coming anyway. But I like the extension on the time. That was a really weird skill to put in a stam rotation, especially if you wanted to do like a whole 10-second rotation. It wouldn't fit properly. Not all the gear. You can craft stuff. Batman's being awkward now. What did I miss? Glad my non-dot build Templar for PP isn't really getting touched. Reverse Slice. Fix an issue where the AoE damage from this ability could critically strike. Since the initial hit can already critically strike, this was effectively allowing the attack to double crit, contributing to a tremendous power strike. So if you crit the main hit, everything else gets hit harder. If you don't crit it, everything else gets hit less. That's pretty much what it should do anyway, so whatever. Uppercut, reduce the damage dealt by this ability and its morphs by approximately 16%, which isn't massive, to ensure it does not eclipse other damage abilities such as damage over times. Yes, because it is charged up. It's not an insta-spam. Dizzying Swing. And this is nuts as well. This morph no longer knocks back a target and stuns them. Because they did say on the stream, high damage and stun at the same time basically isn't fair. Which, if you're honest with yourself, is not. It's either a stun or it's not a stun. If it's not a stun, it should hit hard. If it is a stun, it should do what it's supposed to do and stun them. But instead, it sets the enemy off balance for 7 seconds. How many DKs out there used to talon stuff up and whip to try and get off balance? One of those, they're off balance for 7 seconds. Piece of piss. Also in content, this could be a little tricky and sneaky. If you have someone using a back bar weapon as a two-hander, and they're not actively using this as a spammable, they can control off balance quite easily. Again, no need for lightning staff on a single target. So that could have applications elsewhere. No pun intended. The arena's not ready for 4 seconds. Ransack. Fix an issue where the minor protection granted from this ability was additive rather than multiplicative. Okay, so that should do that anyway, especially since it's a set buff type. Weird how it doesn't apply on that version of it, but it does for every other. The fight has started, people. Get stuck in. I'm going to join you as well. We need more people. We've got loads of people in the chat and not enough people strong enough to fight the bosses. Dual Wield. We knew this was coming. Flurry got reduced in damage dealt by this ability and it's morphed by approximately 8%. That is not that bad. It is damage over time, but it is channeled and it can stop. Whereas your dots, once they're fired, you forget them. This one can be interrupted or stopped or whatever by you going through mechanics or turning away or whatever. This makes me glad I just got the World of Warcraft Warlock as fun. Good for you. You're probably watching the wrong stream then if you're watching Warcraft or like Warcraft. To ensure it does not eclipse other damage abilities such as dots. So it is a spammable, it is damage over time, but it's not a full out slap. It's channeled, and because of the breaks in DPS that you can have, this didn't get drastically affected. Bloodthirst. Fixed an issue where the heal from this ability was not properly increased by 1% of the damage dealt per rank. So that's now going to be a stronger heal. Twin Slashes decrease the damage of the tick of this ability and its morphs damage over time by approximately 63%. Knew that was coming. Damage over time got wrecked. Blood Craze reduced the healing per tick of this morph by approximately 20% to ensure its heal is closer to the value of the damage dealt. That one is actually really, really nice generally. The 20% reduction is not going to be that much because they're quite small heals anyway. But this one looks like it got buffed. So if you put the two in conjunction with each other, that wouldn't be too bad. More in the fight. We need more people. We do need more people. Otherwise, you're not going to get a big boss. You're not going to get loads of loot. And you ain't going to get free t-shirts. More people putting fight in the chat. It's going to cost you 50 Undaunted Plunder. Put Undaunted in the chat if you're unsure of the rules. Blade Cloak increased the base duration of his ability up to 10 seconds from 8. Good, because although it is a protective ability, 8 seconds was a little bit awkward. Increased the base cost to 4.9k, almost 5k, up from 3. So that forces you to only use it in emergencies. Reduce the damage per tick by 32%. Again, this is not a damage ability as such. In fact, there's not really much point having that damage on it. It's a protective buff, whatever. Quick Cloak, this morph now also offers cost reduction, taking the base down to 3.7, and it makes you run quick. I generally don't use that ability. Not unless I'm on a mag DPS, and I want to use it occasionally. I used to use it in Maelstrom, actually, on a Magplar. When you could use dual wield for magic damage. Poison, oh, don't fuck with my Poison Arrow again. Decrease the damage per tick of this ability and its morphs by 63%. Ouch. Ballista updated the tooltip and this ability to show its true range to prevent confusion in areas where you could increase the range yet fail to accurately increase your ability. This I did test a lot of times. I did use it in PvP for a bit. Propelling Shield boosts all the range of abilities that are over, what, 28 meters or something like that. And this one wasn't actually showing what it should be doing. It was inaccurate. So that now makes a bit more sense if you're paying attention to the tooltips anyway. No more requirement to run a bow on a back bar. Dual wield and two-hander here. From here we come. For you, maybe. Not necessarily for everyone. This morph now no longer knocks back targets hit, but instead reduces their movement speed by 60% for 3 seconds. It's a pretty hefty snare, but I'm not that impressed by it because I kind of like the knockback. But whatever, we'll see what happens. Increase the base cost of volley. Decrease the damage per tick by approximately 17%. Now, with that being a ground-based AoE, I would have expected that to be reduced a lot more. So that didn't get too much of a hit, although it did get dropped quite a bit in the last update. Tooltips now properly mention their true duration. Ancient Knowledge fixed an issue where the passive was not properly working for specific pets. Destructive Touch decreased the damage per tick of this ability and Destructive Reach morph by 63%. That's a huge drop. Increase the base duration of this ability. Wall of Elements, by the way. Increase the base duration of this ability to 10 seconds up from 8. So, you know the explosive one? The base ability lasts longer. Increase the base cost of 4.9k up from 3. And reduce the damage per tick by 32%. This one, most of them got 33%. Why did they get 32? Okay, fine. So, but anyway, the longer duration. So, Elemental Blockade should last quite a lot longer. Soul Magic. You knew this was going to get hit. This ability in its morphs will no longer fill soul gems if a target affected was a target dummy or a critter. You naughty people. Killing target dummies for free soul gems. Let's use all of those abilities that were nerfed and dual wield and a bow, combine all those damage reductions. Yeah, it's a lot. But that's their intention. That's an obvious statement. They do want to bring the damage down. It went really, really high. They want to see how high they could get it, and then they brought it back down again. We had a couple of months of nuking the shit out of stuff. We still will to some extent, and this could still change drastically. How will I make gold now? You will have to sell your soul, not gems. Who just Leroyed into... Dragonlord was spawned. Oh my god.
You got knocked the fuck out.
You actually spawned it. It took 393 people in the chat to finally get some of you to spawn it. Next time, kill it. Fix an issue where the application of these abilities could no longer be dodged, or not be dodged, where each tick of the damage could be dodged. What? Oh. Where these abilities could not be dodged, but... Oh, so the tick damage could be dodged, but the initial hit couldn't. Updated the visual effects to better line up with the animation of these abilities. Reduce the damage per tick of this ability by 50%. We knew that was coming. What did I tell you a few months ago about this damage output? I said Soul Trap will get reduced. I assumed it would by the time the patch landed, but it didn't. And then the next patch, straight away, they nuked the shit out of it. Joe, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Bit and cake in the chat. Bad approach to fix it. Werewolf. This ability in its morphs now immediately apply disease status effects to the enemy, so instant defile. Disease damage rather than hybrid of physical and disease, so it's flat out disease damage, so you can spec for that actually, especially even Swamp Raider or something like that. Decrease the damage per tick of these abilities by 60%. Claws of Life. This morph now heals for 100% of the damage caused instead of 50. So the more damage you do, the bigger the heals. But the ticks got reduced, so that will probably be about the same. Spaghetti. Thank you very much. You know the rules, people. Beer and cake in the chat. 500,000 damage done to our current Dragonborn. Theory, if you get killed, you know they're going to put their face up there and not yours, right? He's not scared. He's not scared. Werewolf transformation. Fix many issues where this ability could persist without meeting the proper requirements. Okay. Decreased the damage tick to the bleed applied from the werewolf light attacks, the berserker morph, by 48%. That's a lot. That is a hell of a lot. So, if the dots are down, you may want to focus a little bit more into Master at Arms and make your light attacks do more. So instead of packing loads into Thaumaturge, put fuck tons into Master at Arms, take the little bleed and hit them fucking harder. Trap Beast, reduce the damage tick of this ability and its morphs by approximately 63%. Single target dots all got the same kind of reduction. Mostly anyway. Entropy, the ability and structured entropy morph no longer grants major sorcery. Oh, shit. That's fun. No longer grants major sorcery. Expensive pots. Decrease the damage dealt by all three versions by 50%. Fuck. Reduce the base cost of these abilities to 2.7 from 2.9. That is a arguably not noticeable reduction. So who gives a fuck? That is noticeable, and so is that. Because you could put inner light on both bars and structured entropy on the front bar. Take the sorcery, get the dot, get the heal back, and have crit on both bars and not need a potion. Or just use a trash pot. Now that's going to change. But again, that was double or even triple dipping into a lot of bonuses that it probably shouldn't have. Major sorcery and loads of damage and heals back or recovery was a little bit overkill. Degeneration. This morph no longer grants magic back when hitting an enemy affected by the damage over time, but continues to grant major sorcery in its original duration. So this one will give you magic, major sorcery and a dot, and this one will give you the damage and a heal. So they are two completely different morphs now. It's not a case of this one for the heal, this one for the return. They are completely different skills. So if you want this major sorcery buff, you have to take this version of it. The magic back was a bit overkill anyway. You could use massive recovery food, massive recovery buffs on a Nightblade with Siphon and Strikes, and this, you basically couldn't run out. So that was overkill in the first place. They're the old patch notes. What the hell was that? Notes is the wrong command, Zack Attack. Put patch notes in the chat. No Surge used again. Surge is still used a little bit anyway. Just use Crit Surge. It still heals you off of damage. Scalding Room, reduce the damage of this and its damage tick of this and its morphs by approximately 60%. We knew that was going to go down. More dot stuff. Reduced. This is why it's funny. Because it's not going to drastically affect the game anyway. First of all, they've got a massive fucking QA section. They do test the shit out of it. And now they're giving it to us to test. So we can get our own opinions once we've tested it. But the crying was about too many dots. Too strong. Too many dots. Too much damage. While claiming to be OP. Now they bring all the dot damage down, and people still fucking cry. It's a prime example of people never being satisfied. But we will test it. If it's shit, I will say so. But at the moment, since it's on paper, can't say anything until we put it on to actual practice. Mend Wounds. Fix an issue where the animation of heavy attack of this ability and its morphs. You can no longer attempt to and fail to heal the wildlife critters of Tamriel with a heavy attack from these abilities, for their frail bodies cannot handle the power you wield. This also fixes an issue where your character would erratically convulse when attempting to channel these abilities on a target you couldn't actually target. Fair enough. So Matt will tell me that we are going to do a third less damage. Does that mean that I stuck at 30k DPS now and we'll be hitting 20? Not necessarily. We'll have to see. You can't just put it on paper. You have to test it. Also consider, which I've said already, the longer duration for your dots means more room for spammables. So it could go somewhere in the middle. Spiders. Spawn broodlings. Fix an issue where the spiders spawn from this synergy and other morphs would merely fade out of existence upon death rather than displaying their death animations and fading out of existence. Trap and webs. This ability and its morphs now last 10 seconds rather than 5. Good, because that was tiny. Fix an issue where the synergies granted from these abilities were lasting longer than the ability that housed it. Warhorn. This ability will now only apply to group members rather than allies. So in PvP, if people are not in your group, they will not get the bonus. Lower damage, more cost. Resource management is key to the future. Resource management was key in the first place because remember in the tutorial you get taught that if you heavy attack you get stuff back. Not enough people are utilizing it and too many people are complaining about it being boring. If it's boring, then you don't like the game you're playing because that is the base mechanic of it. You can't come in and change that just because you've got to a higher level and decided you don't like the way the game was made. If you didn't like the way the game was made, you shouldn't have fucking continued playing it in the first place. There you go. Problem is in PvP for dots. Now the problem is going to change everything in PvE again because that's what I needed after selling my house and gear upgrades. If you're around 30k DPS, it's entirely possible you won't take a buff at all. Exactly. Speaking of tutorials, Zos should add a boss that you must not interrupt. If you interrupt it, it will wipe the group. Why? So then people do the complete opposite in content and actually interrupt stuff when they should. Some up, pay more, get less. Well, there is that. But you can regain your resources as much as you want. People have been spamming for free, even expensive abilities for fucking ever. So complaining about it is not going to get anyone their own way. What you need to do is test it and give proper feedback. The constant wowing all the time is just fucking shit, and it never gets anyone anywhere. In fact, stuff like this happens. People cry so hard that they nerf your fucking dot damage by a whopping 50% and more. So what can you do? They'll probably change it, but this is a prime example of reap what you fucking sow, basically.
I love weddings. Drinks all around.
Thunder, thank you very much. Synergizer. This passive now displays a visual effect when triggered. Ooh, nice. Itemizations and sets. Lingering health pots. These effects on consumable potions will now last for similar durations compared to powerful effects such as Expedition Protection. So 13-second base duration. So that will go quite a lot, actually. Shield play enchants no longer grant bash cost reduction. They are now called bracing enchants rather than shield play. Potions that increase your physical or spell resistance no longer grant you major resolve and ward, because they're one thing on now, aren't they? Instead, they grant you a unique value to resistances. Excuse me. Last Aussie heavy spammer. Affliction. Fix an issue where this set would not update its tooltip when you had points spent in Befouled. There's a couple of skills that did that, actually. Barkskin. This set now, heal proc now has a visual effect to indicate that it's occurred, so you can tell when it's actually procking. This didn't show a cost reduction to block. What was this? Fix an issue where this set was not applying its cost reduction bonus to block or stealth because it's supposed to reduce everything. Gamer, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Problem is they tend to overdo any change either for buffs or nerfs. No, they do that to start with, and then you have weeks and weeks of changes. People need to be more patient and less whingy. Increase the light attack damage bonus from this set to 55% up from 30. Fuck, they brought it back up again. This is a Blood Moon set, by the way. No Beekeeper buff, no. Reduce the cooldown to 15 seconds from 18. Fuck. Your melee light attacks no longer need to be critical damage in order to generate the stacks. Now, what did I say a minute ago about Werewolf? They reduced the bleed, but to counter that, take the points out of Thaumaturge, put it into Master at Arms, make your light attacks harder. This fucking set, you don't have to crit to get the bonuses, and the light attacks hit harder. And the cooldown is shorter. Problem solved. Lose something here, add something here. You just have to figure out what it is. This is the whole point of adaptation in the first place. When they change something, you need to figure out what you need to do to get around it or to benefit in another way. What chance on a DK? What chance? Do you mean change? Please do not ask me that question. If you mean in the patch notes, you'll have to go back up to the beginning and check them. Someone get patch notes in the chat. If you mean for a build, you are going to have to wait until it's live. None of it's real yet. Fortified Brass. Reduce the physical and spell resistance granted by the 5-piece bonus to 3460 from 5170. That is a large reduction, but if you're packing resistance sets anyway, that's not going to be a massive drop. On its own, sure, 2k is a bit of a... Well, not even 2k. Under 2k is a bit of a drop, but if you are packing, like I said, loads of resistances already, especially if you're using Pariah or Undaunted Bastion or something like that, you're still going to have really fucking high resists. And it stacks with Armor Master too. These changes will make for a fine addition to my All Nature kit. I thought you quit. Grand Rejuvenation. Oh no. Oh no. This set will no longer grant 740 stamina to its allies hit by the initial heal of Grand Heal and its morphs. Instead, the initial Grand Healing will restore 100 magicka and stamina to allies every second for 4 seconds. Oh, bastard. Right. So far, Histkeeper is kicking ass because of this. Give it a few weeks and see if they change it. If they don't, we might have to redo the build. But for the time being, it's strong as fuck. However, 400 stamina over 4 seconds is still really fucking strong. And if you kept it up consistently, that could still be quite beneficial. It's both resources as well. So, this is on the initial hit. And it lasts 12 seconds if you're using... Well, fluff flying everywhere. If you're using... Was it the Illustrious Healing Morph? So you could apply it once and just leave it running. And technically, 3.5 of the ticks aren't giving you any stamina by this amount. If you consider 100 every tick. So that's actually stronger. But if you did want to spam it, you would have to reapply it every 4 seconds instead of every 1, and you wouldn't get such a big burst. That might, over a long term, if you're not spamming it, be actually a little bit stronger. Although, if you can spam it and you've got high sustain, it's a little bit weaker. We'll see what they do with that, because they do tend to change weapons backwards and forwards. But I'm in two minds of it. We'll see. It's still a lot. 400 over 4 seconds is still a lot of stamina to get back, especially if you're using those Dwemer Spiders. And especially if you're using 2 of these and they stack up. Magical Bomb in what? Sanctum? Oh, I see. Werewolf Eye, this who was that? Thank you very much for the follow. This ultimate set gain now has a visual effect. Chew Down, fixed an issue where this set was stacking with other sources of major resolve in some situations. Yes, because that should not be. Mighty Glacier, fixed an issue where this set was being procced off any bash attempt and self-snares. Ravager, fixed an issue where this set would fail to proc if attempted to use major or minor spell or physical. Resistance reduction ability against a target that had a permanent form of that ability, such as an Iron Atronach target dummy. Okay. The Malabeth helmet, this one is. Fixed an issue where the major vitality buff was not properly being tracked by the UI buff trackers or on your character sheet. 7th Legion, fixed an issue where this set would fail to apply it if you... Thank you for the follow. If you had a longer source of major or minor resolve on you. Spelunker. This set's stamina restore now has a visual effect when it occurs. I don't fucking use that set, to be fair, so I can't comment on that one. Swarm Mother, fixed an issue where this item set could pull players through terrain. Yeah, that's not supposed to do that. Twilight Remedy, fixed an issue where the visual effects of Minor Force were disappearing before the effect had ended. Fair enough. We're almost there, aren't we? Art animation, we don't need to go into that. Audio. Have they fixed the whole deafening stuff with the orbs fighting Depths of Malatar and Rakat in More of Lorcage? Because that still confuses me. Normalized experience gained from monsters and completing events in world locations according to type. Craglorn Delves now have higher XP, so it's not just Skyreach that is high, other places are decent as well. So maybe you'll be able to go to other places. Some world locations have been added experience increase to bring them in line with their type. So this is, in my opinion, the beginning of Make Craglorn great again, because they really need to revisit that place, boost the shit out of it and get us back in those delves. This is technically getting us back in the delves, but it's just for XP. I would like to see that reworked to make it more difficult, bring extra loot and achievements into the game. I haven't played in a couple of patches. What the heck did they do to dots? Reduce them. NPCs will no longer comment on your crimes that they see. We don't really need to go into this too much. Combustion damage no longer damages targets if flame arrow despawns before it explodes. Fixes with mobs, monsters, all that good stuff. Bit of crafting. Dungeons. Shadow Torment is no longer grant experience when killed. Shadow Change no longer appear in the active effects UI. Spawn of a Fowler Pool and death is your only escape, no longer appear in the effects of UI. Gargoyles will no longer try to attack players they cannot reach, the ones that run through the walls. Petrifying Bellow no longer applies a generic icon to player characters. So nothing major. Just little shit bits of bugs that have been annoying for ages that have actually been fixed, so that's a good thing. Quest, UI, we're done. So they buffed and then nerfed them, and I don't have to freak out. You don't have to freak out. No, exactly. They buffed the shit out of them. Everyone complained while claiming they're OP. Then they brought them back down again, and everyone's crying. What can you do? Zephora, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. If you haven't played in a few patches, then your build isn't affected by changes. Pretty much. Yeah, if you haven't played since just before Elsewhere, pretty much where you were then. But, again, this is not real yet. This is not live. This is potential for change. This is on PTS. This is stuff they're looking at. It will probably still drastically change before the patch actually goes live. We've got several weeks of updates to come yet, usually 4 or 5, and this is just the first one. Some people are just never happy. Exactly. Also the voice chat issue with console. We are getting updates for all platforms over the next 3 patches, so that might be in there somewhere. Instead of making it harder, they increase experiences, so more toxic grinders will come and make it even easier. We'll see. Just hoping for armor templates. Not yet. Right, I need to take a brief break for a couple of minutes just to get a drink and stuff, and then we will log on to the PTS and see what's there. By the way, in the chat, do not say, Xy, do this, Xy, do that, Xy, do that. You fucking do it. If you want to test stuff, go on PTS and test it. What I'm going to be doing is showing some of the process that I go through when I'm making builds and tests and stuff and all the rest of it. So enjoy, ask questions if you need to, but don't try and encourage me to do stuff that you want to see, because you could do that by yourself. Anyway, I'll be back in about 2 minutes.
Winning. I love winnings. Drinks all around.
Brothers on the rise now. Endless celebrations all in my house. Levitating now, I'm super duper fly now. London boy, but DC where I reside now. Put the time in while you always yelling time out. And for quit it, cause I know I'm coming with it. You were sitting, you were wishing I was handling my business. Now I got the ball like Harry Potter playing Quidditch. And my business so humongous, you would think that happens in there. Damn man, I'm all that, yeah, I'm all that. Looking for that whip, yeah, that what you call that. I'ma blow up in the summer, have him yelling fall back. And I've always been ahead like an effing ball cap. Man, I came in the game like, whoa. Got a couple chains on me cause I like go.
And we're back. That was quick. You can hear me, right? Almost 400 viewers? Yes, indeed. Wonder how many people we need to kill it. To kill Mega Jeff or Dragon Lord, you're probably going to need about 150 people. Minimum. That's a bit of a spoiler for you. So get people encouraged to fight it. No Harvester plushies? No, indeed. Why is my stream saying it needs refreshing? I'm going to lose the chat for a second. Hold on. Don't do that. Hopefully you can still hear me. It's not refreshing my dashboard. Twitch is having a shit fit. I can't see the chat. I have to use my phone. It's probably because the launcher's running and it's really slow. Because everybody's logging in at once. Now I can see the chat. Apparently I have no viewers. Oh no, there we go. 1 follow and 1 sub to kill you? Yeah, indeed. But let me turn the settings down on this, because we are on the PC now. Same system that I'm streaming off of. Oh shit, I need a control pad in, don't I? Not Discord. Discord needs to close. Where is my remote? Fucking leads everywhere. That's the wrong one. Quick, everybody panic. I've got no USB cable. Aha! Found it. But Maelstrom versus Master Bow with the changes. We'll have to find out, won't we? Just got nerfed in the upcoming patch. I probably wouldn't have helped in that fight. Dear oh dear. Right, let's create a new one. You know where we're going to go first. Level 25 Dragonhold. Unusual template. I'm not going with that. Oh my god, please don't nerf me. No way someone had that name. Is that on PTS? Can you test patting your head and rubbing your belly at the same time? Pat your head and rub your belly while saying rubber baby buggy bumpers. The change for DPS before already hard on me. Now I'm even more worried. You don't have anything to be worried about. We weren't hitting 100k before. We didn't need to hit it in the patch we're in. We don't need to hit it later. As far as I can see, the only thing nerfed is some people's cheaty builds. We'll see what happens. At the end of the day, the content is designed with kind of, what's the word for it? Application for your group in mind. Like what you're doing, what you are doing as far as mechanics are concerned, how much damage you do or don't need, because there isn't really any kind of thresholds as such. There are certain parameters which you need to kind of be a little bit higher than, but they are so fucking low that it would make people's brains fucking boggle. So the reduction in damage overall, bringing the ceiling down a little bit, it's not going to be that bad. Also, just bear in mind, of course, this is not live. This can still change. Stand-based CC and PvP got hit bad. Well, it depends. Most builds are fucking hybrid anyway, so... I mean, if you consider that on a DK, you're probably using a magic ability for stuns. That statement doesn't really add up, does it? Parabellum is the original parrot. I don't have time to farm. I don't have to farm Maelstrom. I still can't finish VMA. You have to practice. Fuck, there's loads of people. Of course there is. Where's the local chat shouting, "Oh my god, I'm nerfed"? No, I'm not accepting friends requests, but thank you. Let's go to our house and get the fuck out of here. This is where all the nubs sit. In their nakedness. Look, making their really cool underwear. That one's got 2 bras. Haven't even done Maelstrom Arena, let alone Vet. Well, agility's been boosted a bit. Gets much easier once you do it once. Correct! It does indeed. So I've got no room for my fucking control or leads or anything. Mind your ears. Smash into the microphone. Right. Let's start from where we mean to carry on from. We need the dummy first. They've nuked my fucking house. I hate that when PTS changes. All my dummies go away. Fossilized, yes, still use Blind Javelin with Templar, but Stamsork needs the help, so does Warden and Necromancer. What you just said is, DK use a magic ability, which is Fossilize. Templars use Javelin, which, fair enough. You then have the Rune Cage or Prison or whatever from the Sork, which is also magic. Then you have your CC ability for the Necro, which is also magic. And the Warden has the stun in AoE from the heal, which is also magic. Stam CC didn't get hit, really, because it's already casting by Magicka anyway. I started playing this game and I want to be a Sork tank. What's the best way to do it? No such thing as best in this game. Get stuck into it, see what you like, and go from there. Right, let's make this happen. So we'll get all our stations ready. Can't believe I've got to redo my house again. We just need the basic stations. I don't need blacksmithing, actually. Alchemy's already done. Don't need that. Don't need that. We will need that later. Not right now. Enchanting we'll need. I mostly just use the consumable ones, because everything else is here anyway. Provisioning. So we've got food, potions, and enchanting, so we can change glyphs and shit. Then we need the transmutation station, which we'll put over here as well. Got all the essentials. Now we need a dummy. Of course we do. Dummy, 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 dummy. There we go. Surprised it didn't attack Shadow Mundus. Well, Divines as a rule, actually, because it kind of negates the point of having any other trait if you're just going to focus on an external buff and buff the shit out of it. Need more choices. We've got more choices, but obviously, power-wise, it's too strong. Shadow. If something is too strong to negate, and it negates choices, need to be altered. Put it on anyway. Controls. For anyone that wonders how my UI is usually set up, that's showing, that's showing. Combat is always showing, and they're always showing. I don't always have permanent buffs on. Depends on what I'm doing, but some classes you do need it. You stuck on a poison round? That one sucks eggs, to be fair. Add-ons need to be added, out of date, reload UI. I don't want all of them, because some of them are shit. You love the game, you just don't want to die easy. Then have loads and loads of health. I think new patch will take AoE attacks off of the stam rotation. No, I wouldn't have thought so. We'll have to see what happens. Add-ons. We'll turn off the ones we don't use. I don't need that one. Don't need that one. Don't need that. Do need that. We'll keep those. Reload again. So many little shit bits that help the other ones work. Oh, single target. No, I think you combine them. Long durated dots alongside spammables, which is the design anyway. Fire is starting a heist, by the way. Get stuck in, get your loot, and get out. If you succeed, you'll take double loot with you. What helped me with poison is just focus on staying alive, and kiting is not that much of a DPS race. It's not a DPS race in the slightest, but you do need to protect yourself. So when he starts screaming, don't interrupt him. Hide inside one of the bubbles, but be careful not to kill the dude, because if you do, he'll be enraged and you'll die in the face. Also, luck is a factor because of the poison mushrooms that pop out underneath your feet that shouldn't when you're inside a bubble. That can be a pain in the ass. Controls. One more thing to do, which is assign to control. Job done. Perfect. Now shinies. Oh, a trick, by the way. If you're on PTS and you're gonna put all the what the fuck is that? Oh, if you're gonna put your skills in and it takes you forever to buy them all, get this: buy a respec scroll and then consume it. Although I haven't spent any skill points yet, this is really quick. So I'll go in here and I'll just buy fucking everything really quick without the prompts coming up. Do you want to buy this, yes or no? Don't even need to argue with it anymore because it's done. I have that one. None of that. Have that. And that. Next. Buy them all. Any really good sets of gear, mag, Sork, lightning build? There's a lightning build on my channel. Someone put Sork in the chat, please. There's a very specific request. Are you trolling, Biz, or are you actually looking for one? We've got to have that. We won't mess with that just yet. There you are. Surprised you haven't seen it. Enjoy. There's a link in the chat above you. We're in the stashes. We'll take that because we do need it. Yeah, 84k on the Tridome, Stam DK without Loki, at 49k on 3 mil. Good for you. Awesome stuff. Have some of that. See how quick it is to buy your skills if you just buy one of the respec scrolls instead. No worries, dude. You're welcome. We'll still use it even though it's been nuked. I don't really need these, but I'll take them anyway. Fighters Guild. Bob Trap. Don't need those or those. We will take these. and vigor. Don't want caltrops. Orc stuff. Medicinal use, of course. And anything that I'll need for crafting. So we can just fucking fill them all up. Don't need that. Don't need that. Do need that. Theory is the only person who survived the heist. What the fuck indeed. Trying to PTS right now as well because I've got to know my normal rotations have changed. I need to see. Nothing has changed yet. It's only just gone up a few hours ago, and there's going to be 4 or 5 weeks worth of testing and changes. So whatever you see, do not take it as set in stone. Things will dramatically change. There's going to be lots of channels saying, this is best. Bollocks. Nothing's best. No such thing. And loads of stuff to test. This is all 100% subject to change. So don't worry and don't panic. You'll be fine. That's done. Rip indeed. Right. Food. Oh, I haven't got materials. Whoops. Supplies. It's not so bad once you're set up with one character, but the first one takes a little bit. Take that, take that. Don't want that. Shinies. Infinite materials. I fucking wish. Alchemist stuff. Don't need that. Take those. Whoops. Where's the food one? That pantry one, is it called? Jewelry stuff. Ultimate crafting. That one. There it is. Yes, I've been here many times before. Is it obvious? Just did VMA and then VDSA and got a Maelstrom Mall and Masters Mall best day ever. Nice, dude. Congratulations. Happy days. Luck is on your side, it seems. Now you're in your own home, but put some pants on. Oh, I will. You have to wait, though. He's got to do stuff first before pants go on. 72 in there. 64. Whoops, that's 65. 1, 2, 3, 4. 7, 5. 7, 5. 72. Finish that. Orc meat. There could be children watching. They shouldn't be. It's an 18. And I say naughty words all the time. Oh, they can't. That's not right. That was 23, I think. We'll double check that in a minute. That was 73. 61. That was 61, actually. That's 49. And that. Gotta remember what it was. 20. That should have 66. 2 in there. That'll do for now. I can double check it, actually. So scared about the Stam DK right now. No one should be scared about anything. It's the first day of many weeks of testing. 1 second. I've got to remind myself. I have too many fucking setups. And I changed my main for about 8 different fucking things, depending on what he's doing. That's not even updated properly. Oh no, that's the tank. Whoops, wrong button. Go backwards on there. Looking at my tank's fucking CPs. 323, 61. Never mind, my bad. I was right the first time. I knew it was 61. Zus doesn't listen, they're stubborn. What are you talking about? DK is a dot class and will definitely feel at the worst. Zus does listen, that's the whole point of them changing the game in the first place. They listen all the time. It just doesn't mean that they're going to do as you say. That's different. I'm just going to focus on getting my 810 CP and farming skill points and then DPS tunes. I already have DPS that can do any late game content as it is. Nice! Set. Trial stuff. Where's it gone? Stas didn't listen last PTS. What, to you? This is what you should do, because at the moment you're looking like a bit of an idiot. You should complain at the company themselves if you don't like what they're doing. Complaining at me is fucking useless, because I'm not Zos, am I? So all you're doing is bringing the tone down. Shush your lips. Oh, you've been timed out. Good. Maybe that will give you some respect. Will make you learn some respect, even. Complaining at content creators is really, really stupid, because it's not going to help. All it's going to do is get you muted from chats. It's not their fault. All they're trying to do is enjoy the game and teach people how to play it. If you don't like it, don't like it. That's fine. What am I looking for? I've forgotten now. Where the fuck is it? Not Telvar, is it? Cyrodiil, that's what I'm looking for. Mikey Meshi, thank you very much. Love Design Ninjas. Thank you very much indeed. Bit and Cake in the chat. Hugely appreciated. And you almost killed the Dragonborn. Oh, he's dead. He's dead. J Peasy, oh my god.
Dragonborn.
Dead Dragonborn. You know the rules, people. The fight starts again from scratch. If you kill that Dragonborn, you'll take his place, and stream will have to kill you instead. Congratulations indeed. You are the new Dragonborn on the throne. Enjoy. Whoever ends up being the most fun in the new patch will become my new main. See, that's a better attitude. See what happens, and whatever you like the most of, enjoy the fuck out of it. This never helps anyone. It does not help. Remember when you were a kid and the parents say crying doesn't get your own way? Surprise! In the real world, that is how it happens. Crying doesn't get your own way. They changed Master Resto, not in a good way. I already went over that in the patch notes. We're going to have to test it. It doesn't look too bad on paper. It just means spammable is going to be a bit less effective. But we'll see. Master Weapons is what I need. Thank you for not being negative about the patch notes as usual, Zai. It helps watch people that are able to keep a cool head. If things change, they change. We'll get used to it. Is Bloodthirsty only researchable from trial rewards? No, you can buy that off the market, in fact. It's a game. If it's not fun, you're doing it wrong. Correct. Thank you very much, Paul, for the bits. Hugely appreciated. Bit and Cake in the chat. Crybabies keep being an island of common sense in the ocean of tool chasers. No, the right answer is that no matter what happens in the patch, Easy Sort will always be the main true story. You're sticking with it anyway? Nice. Don't forget, things change for everyone. They do. You have to consider that my main character, which is currently on the Zos fucking website, will get affected by this. Am I sitting there crying about it? No, I'm about to see what the difference is and then change it. Wolfie, thank you very much. Hugely appreciated. Beer and Cake in the chat, people. You know the rules. 500,000 damage done to our current Dragonborn. If you kill him, you will take his place in stream. I have to kill you instead. You get people that have got one build and they stick to it and they don't change anything, and then when changes come in, they cry about it. You're talking to someone who has to make builds all the time, constantly keep up with changes, make them as effective as possible to be able to deliver them to the people that support the channel. That's stressful when things get really, really altered, but also it's exciting as fuck because it's new ways to play. So if anyone's very affected by it, it's the creators themselves, because they have to now think of new ways to make things work. And sometimes that might not be possible. Maybe their brain doesn't fathom what the fuck they can do with the changes. Maybe they just have to dump a build. Hopefully we don't. But shit happens. I think it would be a good idea if Zos didn't cap transmute crystals. Agreed. Agreed. Definitely. That would be cool. Unfortunately, I don't see that happening anytime soon. I would prefer it if they did, though. I don't have enough to stack anyway, but it would be cool. Master's weapons. I did pick them up, didn't I? Where the fuck did it go? There it is. Bow. Inventory. Right, we're nearly there. That's on. They're all divines. Nice. Need some jewelry. That's what we're looking for. I usually do this a lot quicker, but obviously I'm reading chat and focusing on a million things at once. 1, 2, 3. Then we need glyphs. For those of you that are confused about multi-crafting, by the way, when you make one the first time, you can't multi-craft it. You have to learn it first. Then once you can then make as many as you want. Here's an example. So I can't multi-craft this at the moment. But if I make one, I learn the recipe, then I can make them in as many numbers as I like, depending on how many resources I've got. As you can see here, I can make multiples. Also, you will always know that Parabellum is too OP. Fucking hell. Not had to dump Sting ever. That might have to change. All I know is every single patch, Scalebreaker included, my beloved Easy Sword keeps getting stronger and hitting harder. They do things that they're doing for a reason. Thank you very much for the follow, by the way. you have to consider they're not about to just throw shit against the wall and just turn away and hope it's stuck. They do know what they're doing. But at the same time, they do sometimes give us a drastic demonstration of what's to change on the first week, and then they slowly and gradually change it over the periods of time before the update is actually released. So we're going to see some stuff change. Look at the last update. Fucking loads of stuff got changed within the first week. It's awesome we get to sneak peek Xynode at work. A little bit, not too much, because I don't give too much away if I can help it. But you're seeing me quickly build one up, yeah. What am I doing trait-wise? Nope, that's it. I need to do some retraiting on my jewelry and on the weapons. That should... Item has been locked. What did I lock it for? What a dumbass. That needs to be changed. Potions and poisons. Again, same applies for this. Once you've learned a potion or a poison, you can make as many as you want. So to start with, we can only make one of these. So we'll make one. Means us doesn't operate like a bad pug. How you doing, Dekrill? Welcome to the stream. Now I can make as many as I want. As soon as you've done it once, you can do it again. Rip D-swing. Actually, it kind of pushes for a debuff that takes quite a bit to fire and can guarantee it. This is like a drug dealer giving away free taste. What an unusual analogy. What was that? I haven't seen that before. I've seen this and I've seen this. What the fuck is that? We'll try that later. I don't remember what any of the other stuff does. I think it was a minor heroism, wasn't it? That and that and that. Hey ninjas, Rev, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Newbound armaments is promising. Yes, depending on time, I'm going to try and demonstrate that in a bit because it's a pretty good idea. It's a new ingredient. Thank you, Captain Obvious. I meant, what does it do? It was kind of rhetorical. I was just like, that's new. So let's dump this. See what we can make of it. Okay, so minor innovation to your victim, reducing their critical damage. So it's got that. Standard one's got to be... It's got to have some stam or something on it. Nope, nothing. Maybe a new self elsewhere. Yeah, obviously. I'm just trying to see what it does. That's what I mean. So far, it has magic restore and crit reduction. Oh, that's a poison. That's why. Crit gain, maybe. Major intellect and restore magic. Okay. Let's dump you and add some obvious flat ones. Nope, same applies. So no stamina from it, just magic stuff. Nothing there. Cut and dive is going to be fantastic. Yeah, it looks cool. Nothing there. Nothing at all, actually. Aha! Speed! So, speed pots with magica restore on them. Guaranteed. Breach is on that one, so that's not relevant. Let's see. Still missing one. What are we missing? Heroism. Ooh. So it's got heroism for ulti, mag restore, innovation, and speed. I wonder. Where's the mirrors war? Or Squibjay, actually. Major expedition, heal over time, and major heroism all at the same time. Fucking nice. So really fast, healy, and ulti regen. That was fun. Now we know what it does. In fact, we'll screenshot it. So now you know. You can clip it if you want. Where the fuck's it gone? Now we know what that does. That was quick. Cut and dive is going to be fantastic. Read that one. Poisons. Slots of balls. Just need food and trait changes and we're good. Interesting. Thanks for trying it on stream. You're welcome. We need this first. So we can get vamp straight up to maximum. Then we'll need cheesy food. We'll make loads of that. You want that potion for running in VMO? Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Ulti regen and speed and heals. Fair. That would be nice. Good idea. Fuck, what am I doing? I'm still using the same layout as my old house, but everything's in the wrong order. So that's confusing. Vinans, you legend. Thank you very much. Beer and Cake, of course, in the chat. Thank you very much indeed. 500,000 damage done to our current Dragonborn. Don't forget, if you do kill him, he will take his place in stream. I have to kill you instead. 1.8 million health and some change remaining. That one's already done. That one's done. That one's done. 2 more changes. So that is on my main hand. That needs to be 900 and sharpened on the other. But I need some more transmute crystals because even though they're infinite on PTS, I still can't stack them more than 200, which sucks eggs. Tower Dweller, thank you very much for the emotes. How you doing? I think you already came in, but I forgot to say hi. There's a lot going on today, dude. These streams can be really stressful because that's when you normally get crybabies or people telling you what to do. So far, it's not been too bad, but it gets busy. One more glyph change. Done, done, done. Food. Just want to run VMO and not get kicked at the last boss as a troll. What server you on, Barry? You're on... I know what server you're on, actually. You're on EU, aren't you? So that can go there. Can't remember my fucking rotation now. That goes there. It goes there. There. Beast Trap. Poison Injection. Oh, look at the stats. Oh, that is fucking horrible. Evil bastards. It's not. I'm sure it'll be fine, but fucking hell, we're not used to that. Flames Oblivion, and we'll put Vigor on because we are using it. So why the fuck not? Actually, we'll put Circle Protection on because it does count as a heal, and we can benefit from the bonus anyway. So technically, I'm not cheating. That'll work. Oh no, we have the whip on that one, don't we? My bad. That needs to be morphed. I actually had a healer good enough the other day to be able to use that without vigor. That was fun. Let's just get a couple of single VMOR completions. Oh, just get a VMOR completion. You will do, don't worry. Poison Injection got wrecked, I know. Have you seen the dragon statue in a Crown store? No, I haven't, but I'll check it in a bit. PCNA Guild has been training for VMOR runs this week. I'm not sure of your server.
Drinks all around.
There you go. Deb, thank you very much indeed. Hugely appreciated. You're on EU. Awesome. So, they're done. They're correct. Skills are done. Passives are done. We should be pretty much ready. They didn't get touched. So, damage over time did get reduced, but the poisons did not. They're still going to perform really well. Don't even know how you decide what aspects of a build need to change to fit into the meta. The meta is a stupid term, that's why. Daily, what the fuck indeed? Oh my god. 5,000 bits. Get that man some beer and cake. Wow, that is extremely generous. Thank you very, very much indeed. Hugely appreciated. That's a lot of bits. Beer and cake, thank you very much. Oh my god. Got Stamsork, wish the kind for it. Yes, yes, of course. Zai, same server as your main. Gotcha. Subbed as well. You trashed the Dragonborn. Oh my god. You know the rules, people. Beer and cake in the chat. Still trying to learn all the details of the class and abilities. Basically, this game is not Warcraft. It's not linear. There are many, 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 many choices, especially when it comes to playstyle. So you do whatever you want. And if you want to be effective with that, obviously you can alter your setup based upon that. But every single time people try to force one way or no way, ZOS will change stuff. And this is a prime example of it. Do you have any special controller mappings? No, this is a standard control pad, and it does normal stuff. The only difference is I have combat metrics on my left D-pad. That's it. Everything else is exactly the same. I use a standard controller with the standard buttons, and I need an ulti, so we need another dummy. I get asked that a lot. Use a modded controller, bro. I keep seeing your potion move. No, that potion pulses when you do damage. That's a built-in game feature. Example. Let's pop the potion. Now that'll keep pulsing while I'm doing damage. There's the control. Watch the target. Come on, you bastard. Normally when you apply buffs and debuffs, there you go. And when you swap bars as well, it pulses. So you swap, and it pulses. Now, if you're receiving buffs, receiving bonuses, taking heals, and all that kind of stuff, each different effect can actually make that pulse. And it looks like you're just spamming the button, and you're not. Could have done this to force people to buy Somerset because of Sigil Order, like attack buff skill. Well, that hasn't actually changed. And Somerset is now free with ESO Plus, so they don't need to force anyone to buy anything. I did think that until I saw the potion pulse when I was playing. Yep. Now I'm just waiting for a hand-to-hand skill line so I can make a Dragon Knight Earthbender like Avatar. We do need fucking proper combat like that. Hand-to-hand combat. That would be really cool. Spin kicks and shit. They've got the animations for it. They brought in those personalities for the Khajiit, didn't they? Where they were doing all that Tai Chi shit. You could do special moves and spin kicks. Gotta take so long to build ulti. Oh, I forgot. Vampire. Thank you very much for the follow. Captain Jack is, of course, on the run. Welcome aboard. 100,000 damage done to our current Dragonborn. Don't forget, if you do kill the Dragonborn, you will take this place and stream. Might be kill you instead. Spears would be cool as fuck. I forgot to do Vampire skill line. So I took the food for it, but I didn't put the skills in. Monk class, yes. EverQuest all over again. So, food. Eat that. Max Vampire. He looks amazing. Spear should make crit chance increase for two-handers. And again. Do we have enough ulti? You watch me fuck up my rotation now. I'm expecting this to be quite a drop. If it is, that's fine. Because we're expecting that anyway, and we'll just alter it as we go. I won't show you all of that, obviously, on the stream. We'll mess with some other classes and see what the skills do. Just got back from being AFK. How are the changes affecting DK? You're about to find out. Good luck, burn this down. We'll see. Have I got my potions on? Yes, I have. Let's see. It's not the end of the world yet. Did I change my traits? I don't remember. It's about 10k lower at the moment, which is expected. You want a monk class? We all want a monk class. It would be amazing. Third letters in your crown store mean? You're asking me in the middle of a rotation what's in the crown store. I have no idea. You want a bard class? What I'm hearing from a lot of people is they want EverQuest, which I agree with. That would be fine. Hope we get a hand combat in the game to become Karate Kid. Now the thing is, if you remember the last update, we did this originally with the old setup. I didn't mean to do that then. That's the wrong order. And we did see a substantial difference. But then, within a week or so, we figured out ways to make it even higher than it ever was. And we're going to do the same thing here. Almost guaranteed. Also some other placeholder images in the test. Oh, you mean that stuff? Yes, test placement images. There, so they haven't got a thumbnail for them just yet. You play Diablo, it has a monk class. EverQuest. I'm going to keep saying it until you Google it. I'm going to get all the players who say I can't do this unless you can DPS in a tizzy. How you doing, Sparrow? You want the summoner class, but the sword kinda has it already. Yeah, kind of. got pets. That duration seems off. Makes sense that the build class around hand-to-hand would fit an Elder Scrolls themed game. Yeah, of course it would. But they got to make everything else work properly first. Before they introduce new weapon lines. We've only just got a new class, so I doubt we'll get a weapon line for a while. If at all. Sustain's fucking nuts. Guaranteed poison status effect is very nice. Because you get stamina back for that in your passives. Combustion passive, in fact. I'm not going to get another ultimate in time. Spears would be great. Damage should start going up. Now, I don't think we're going to crack more than 75 on this one. Might get a banner. No, I should have hit Dawnbreaker by now. Fuck it. We get a new class. No! That's not what I said. The way to alter this already would be to drop off a couple of Bloodthirsty and change them to Infused, so you got more passive damage throughout. Stabby, 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 stabby. Finish it. Yeah, 75. Not too mad at that, to be fair. We can still tweak it, and we're gonna. It's 20k drop. Still 75k is more than enough to do fucking everything in the game. But we'll tweak it. So that will probably end up staying. Let's have a look. See, direct damage is high. Direct damage is high from this last hit. Direct damage is high from this. Dots are all pretty much passive. Our main class one is quite fucking low. And our Noxus Breath is almost not noticeable apart from the initial hit, which is actually quite nice. You could change that as just spammable, actually. Consuming Trap has obviously gone way down, which we expected. Twin Blade and Blunt is actually now somewhat higher than this. I don't think that was affected. Not massively. Let's have a look at the passives. I didn't see it in patch notes. Where's it gone? Dual wield. No, it's not affected. That was not affected. So that's why that's still quite high. So bleeds on the axes are very nice. EverQuest is almost as old as the internet itself. Yeah, it is. Not comfortable with the idea that I'm eons old. So the dots have been quite dramatically reduced, but just consider I'm not actually using a full-on spammable. So you could drop this or just spam that instead. Still stuff to mess with. But it's not the end of the world. It's not terrible. I will tweak that off the stream because then I can concentrate more rather than people screaming in the chat, why don't you do this? But we are going to mess with this. I do want to see this. So what if they change it to take off rapid strikes for now? Hit them for 10k physical, apply a stack of stagger for 12 seconds, which increases their damage taken by 25 per stack. And that can happen up to 5 times and then get stunned. Now, that's not going to work on him. Fuck. 3, 4, 5. Then it doesn't consume it. So it's consistently higher once you get that 5th stack. Interesting. That might not be too bad. We'll find number 75. We need to mess with that. How much does it cost? Quite a bit. Let's see. That was shit. That didn't do a lot at all. Good thing is it's Earth and Heart as well, so it forces you to use an ability from that skill line to give Minor Berserk to the group, which is handy. The fight is up. Go, go, go. Oh my god. There better be enough of you in there this time, because it was shit last time. Stone Fist being stamina is going to make me play my aggro DK again. It's actually really quite cool that they've done that. I'm quite impressed with it. So we could dump this. Your bot hates you? No, it doesn't. It doesn't hate you. It just doesn't know you. That's what it is. You disappeared for too long. You left us. 1.2.3. Smash. Yeah, why not? RNG hates you. More people in the chat. If you want to get a big boss out, you're going to have a lot of people in that fight. If you don't, then you won't see one. Oh, there's a bit of latency there. I tried a light attack block cancel. It didn't work. Never takes my undaunted entries. I've beaten everyone to the jump. Come on, people join. Yes, indeed. We could basically do Murder of Fire out of this. What's on Murder of Fire? Oh, the procs from that would be quite good, actually. Because it doesn't do that much dot damage. It's got a couple dots. We should put that on the front bar now. Because before, the initial hit with this was actually quite nice for the bonus. Kind of getting the dot running straight away. But now, not so much. So we'll put that on the front. And put that on the back. We'll do one more, and then we'll start smashing with this rock thing. Actually, fuck it. We'll do the rock thing anyway. So... don't do that. Build ulti. We have a bunch of us lurking and getting fighting people. Do it! Never takes my undaunted entries. I've beaten everyone to the jump. Ulti's there, good. Oh shit, wrong button. I put the whip on the fucking triangle. Rip. Don't do that. That's normally my beast trap on my breath. How many people are in the fight? Not enough. Not even close. Don't press the whip. Don't press the whip. How you doing, Rhea? Welcome to the stream. Bit and cake in the chat, of course. This won't boost it that much because I'm using a Maelstrom weapon. Ah, no, that's a fail already. I've got my Maelstrom weapons on and no rapids. However, that's quite nice. Take them off. I quite like that. Where are we going? Let's put Monster Set on. You can't see what I was looking at. Well, you might have been able to. The combat metrics in the top left-hand corner. I keep up an average of what I should be doing consistently. And that was pretty much on par with the dual wield kind of spamming. So if I take that off, replace it with a monster set, and put some proper weapons on the front, that might actually work out. You missed the patch notes? You can rewind the stream, I guess. Krog, no. Stormfist, Veli. Where's Veli? Veli! There you are. Yeah, you will have to watch it later. It wasn't that long, to be fair. Should we go with Briar? Yes, Briarheart's lovely. Oh shit, lost. Lean on the arm of the chair and then he fucking fell off. Overland. Where are you? There you are. Look back in time. It's a beautiful orc. Thank you very much. Fish face. He loves it.
Winning. I love winnings.
Thank you very much. Hey, you use a similar name to me. That's a fake account. Briarheart and jewelry. That would do it. Axe, dagger. I skimmed them and saw that the dots got hit, but not much else. Well, AoE did as well. Hello, going to leave a lurk, going to bed. See that, Lynn? Thank you very much for watching. Beer and cake in the chat for anyone who enters or leaves a stream. No 7 medium. That was quite obvious. For anyone that is looking for a build here, you're not going to get one. We're just fucking with stuff. This is something I normally do on my own time, where I don't have people trying to get ahead of me or distract. Oh my god. Oh my god. Ninja Monkey, you absolute legend. Thank you very much indeed for that, host. That is enormous. Get some beer and cake in that chat, people. Oh my god. Raid call, that is indeed. Fucking hell. Get a shout out in there for that, man. Some ninja cake as well. Beer and everything. Stuff it in the chat. Dude, how was your stream? Did you get loads of crying babies? Did you get this happen over and over and over? Jack as well, how you doing? There were lots of screams about the patch update, but so far it's not that bad. We've only messed about a little bit, but we've got some adapting to do. Just too late to help us win the fight. Ah, did the fight finish? Has it finished? I don't think enough people have plunder for it. Oh, you got whooped by a Dragon Lord? Oh my god.
You got knocked the fuck out.
Dragon Lord killed the stream again. You've got to get good at that. You need more people. There's not another one for an hour. And I'm running out of time. We'll have that. We'll have that. Hey, I lost my controller. Everyone who's just joined, welcome to the stream indeed, of course. Thank you for coming along from Ninja Monkey's stream. Hope you had fun there. We are basically just talking about PTS update. We did a patch note stream as such, and now we're on the PTS, messing with an old setup, seeing what the difference is, and then just changing a couple bits here and there to see how drastic it is. Thank you very much for the follow. You are now the Dragonborn. Yes! Dragonborn in the chat, please. You know the rules, people. The fight starts again from scratch. If you kill that Dragonborn, you will take their place in the stream. I have to kill you instead. Beer and cake in the chat if you have the emotes. If you don't, Dragonborn in the chat for the rules. With the leftovers from the Beth stream. Well, I'm Xynode, originally from YouTube. I do stream on Twitch, obviously, otherwise you wouldn't see me here. I make build videos, guide videos, dungeon guides, trial guides, arena guides, everything that you can possibly think of. Apart from craft and stuff, there's only one on there, which is actually a, what the hell is it called? An alchemy guide, which is now somewhat useless because they added multi-crafting. So, rip guides. But there's other stuff there you might like. And we need more bag space. Even on PTS, I run out of bag space. Go figure. Website link, thank you very much. Hazard, thank you very much for the follow. Much appreciated. 937, yeah, no pressure, right? Let's have a look. Create. We don't need that. Pickle, thank you very much. Hugely appreciated, of course. Make 3 of those. Not enough bag space ever. The Hawk, thank you very much indeed. Who just put that in the chat? Rhea did. VAA in the chat. A Fear and Archive guide for you right there. If you are not familiar with Trials or that particular one, or maybe just want to brush up on your mechanics, everything is demonstrated and explained, and there's a written guide, and there's an add-on for it as well. Can, thank you very much. Is that Can or K9? I may have said it wrong. I probably did. I always butcher people's names, by the way. That's kind of a stream thing. I always read them wrong. Oh, I need stamina glyphs. My bad. Denny. All About Mechanics add-on, thank you very much. Great YouTube channel, thanks. Thank you very much indeed. So yeah, we're going over a bit later than usual today because of the PTS update. But for those of you that are not already familiar with what's happening, this is not live yet. This could still drastically change, so don't panic. And if someone shouts about what is happening next patch, they don't actually know yet because things could still change. No panic. Need more of this. No, I don't. Change bloody traits again. Oh, fuck. I've reset my house. It's not over there. I'm going to put it over there because that's where it's been for the last 2 months. Make Dizzy stun again. Did you not listen to the live stream at all, Theory? They did it on purpose for balance sake, because you can't have something that is very, very powerful in terms of its damage output and have stunning CC at the same time. That was not, it's not great. That's why they did it. Instead, it applies off balance guaranteed, so that's really bloody strong. You could just Dizzy and swing and then spam the whip. And do 120 calf raises. My calves hurt like hell. Okay, I won't. Damage was nerfed. Thank you, Captain Obvious. It was.
Winning. I love winnings. Drinks all around.
I'm 3 hours into a PTS stream. We figured that bit out. Trinity, thank you very much for the follow. Captain Jack is, of course, on the run. Thank you very much indeed. Let's see. Should we go 1 infused? for the fuck of it? No, because I ran out of transmute crystals. Release the cap on these things. We don't need it. Who was that? Linz, thank you very much indeed. Hugely appreciated. Bit and Cake, of course, in the chat. Thank you very much. This is not as strong as Templar in charge. Are you here just for obvious statements, Ebix? I read the whole patch notes on the stream. You sound surprised. You're lucking. Thank you very much. No worries at all. Remember, people, beer and cake for anyone who enters or leaves the stream. Those are the rules. Make sure they are stuffed with cake and filled with beer. Don't forget to hit follow button, apparently according to the bot. It wasn't me that said that. The bot did. Done, 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 done. Wicked. Now we do something really stupid. May not work.
Drinks all around.
Thank you very much. AZU Legend, thank you very much for the follow. Much appreciated. But still can change. I choose not to stress about changes. If I did, I'd forever be stressed out. My anxiety already keeps me stressed and don't need any more. Exactly. No point stressing over stuff that isn't even real yet. And even so, the game is always going to change. So all we have to do is adapt and keep up. At the moment, yes, damage is down. But it was too fucking high anyway. 120k DPS incoming. Yeah, you wish. Need to work harder to be able to burn through mechanics seems like a very good thing. Yes, it does, because it forces people to actually play the game the way it was designed rather than just nuke it and not know what the fuck to do. That's why most VMOL groups, while they show off about completing it, don't actually know what the fuck to do with Luna. Luna's supposed to be done in 2 laps. Read the achievement, it's there. It's supposed to be done within 2 laps to get it. But most people never see it. Maybe people will. Although, to be fair, if you can still crack 75 to 85k DPS, you probably won't see Luna anyway. I'm surprised they call Dizzy a one-hit wonder and Templar charges a gap closer and stuns and deals damage and set off balance is not. Well, they will still change other stuff. They did note that in the stream today. There is still other stuff that they could alter. There are a few things on their radar that they didn't mention. There's a couple of things that aren't even in the patch notes that have been affected as well. So you have to wait and see. This is probably not going to go as well as I expect it to, but we'll fucking do it anyway. Ulti. We'll treat it like Murder of Fire, but with a spammable. Reliquin never fails. You need to do this in content when you're in and out of mechanics. That way it never falls off, so you can keep hitting him when you get there. Bloody thing won't build up fast enough. DKs need faster ulti regen. And then it'd be cheesy as fuck. I'm surprised the dots didn't get affected though on the bleed and the poisons. Because that doesn't really coincide with their audit as far as that's concerned. But there's still time to change. We're only the first night in. We've been, what, 4 hours into PTS, if that? This is going to do a lot less. 1, 2. I do like that Stone Fist. I mean, I don't know what this is actually going to fucking do outright, but it's fun. So glad to see Entropy and Soul Trap taken down. I am slightly pleased that that has been reduced, but we'll see what happens. It was bound to eventually anyway. If you could sustain that, that would be really nice. The cost is high, though. You might have to go fucking full medium for it. Or just heavy attack more often. Yeah, 40k crits, I know, right? You might have to work on some recovery, because that's going to go down quite bad. Now you can just taste those FPS. I'm getting quite bad latency, actually. My poor Weaving tends to be because of FPS issues. They get too choppy for me to do good enough DPS. Have a slower rotation then. Have something that requires more heavies. And you don't have to hit fucking 9 million DPS to be effective. But when Weaving's getting a heist going, get stuck in, people. I'm going to run low on resources here. Even I'm going to have to start heavy attacking. Oh no, potion's almost ready. As I stated, they wanted to give Dragon Knights and Wardens and Sorcerers a reinforced class identity. Do you think it did it so far? I think they did with this Stone Fist. Because we've had it for ages and it's been fucking useless for Stam DPS. It's been useless for Mag DPS, to be fair. Mostly just a heal. I quite like it as a spammable. So far. I think they probably need to reduce the cost a little bit, though. Although, to be fair, my ground-based AoEs are expensive, so maybe I just need to work on that. And maybe alter it. It's early days yet. I can't really say anything. It's fucking hard though. The satisfying sound as a spammable, it is actually quite cool. Oh shit, I double casted that, I didn't mean to. You don't want to double cast that, it's fucking expensive now. It feels like you're actually having quite a hard impact. It does actually feel like you're hitting something really hard, which is quite cool. Need a heavy in there. Should have waited for off balance, but never mind. Oh, it's running now, that's fine. We'll sneak a heavy attack in on the front bar. Here. Off balance, double return, thank you very much. Now volley is going to fall off slightly, but never mind. Now it should start hitting really hard. 45. It's different. Bear in mind, obviously, my points are in Thaumaturge. I need more Master Arms to make this effective. Still not bad, though. People are just terrified of mechanics and want to burn through them. Pretty much. I think if we change our champion points to more flat damage, direct even, this would be quite decent. Finish it with stabs. With rock throwing. Just keep hitting it. That's actually quite fun. I don't mind that. That's only 73. Well, I say only. A lot of people dream of that, so. But 44k at the biggest hit, and we're spec'd into damage over time. Bearing in mind, all of our damage over time is reduced to fuck. So we'll take some points out of that and go again, and then we'll mess around with the other classes. I'll do most of my testing and updating and all that kind of stuff off the stream, because then I'm not distracted, but it's actually not too bad. People who say you need that much DPS forgot 30k was a requirement a long time ago. They do. Also, this is the funny thing. St. Ohms has 100 million health. If you have 8 people with 30k DPS, it'll take you just under 8 minutes to kill it. Still got 7 minutes left for mechanics. Or 8 minutes left for mechanics. That's if you're not dead. So, when you put that into perspective, as long as you can follow the mechanics and you're applying that amount of damage, and you'll have more than that anyway, because people can easily still hit 50k with this as it is, you shouldn't have any problems if you know what you're doing. But people are scared because then they have to actually play the game rather than avoid the mechanics, and that shows the difference between a good player and someone who can just burn with loads and loads of damage. There is a difference. Some can do both, but not all of them. My friend is in Trials of Guild. He refuses to take you unless you have 60k DPS. Passes is pretty dumb. That is pretty dumb. I mean, 60 is on the lower end on the Iron Atronach for most. Like, if you're going for full flat damage. So it's not the end of the world, but asking for those types of requirements is not really necessary for any content anyway. Not even hard modes. I got nowhere to put this. I don't want 72 in there. That's overkill. Still got a point wasted. Balls. Fuck it, put it in there. A friendly guild for veteran trials runs. Depends. You'll have to look for them. My god, it's 50k requirement for veterans and 70k for progression group. I love it how they say progression and then ask for really high damage. 50k requirement is on the lower end. I mean, you don't need that much, but it's a reasonable ask, I guess, if you're looking for someone that's got a reasonable amount of DPS and you don't want someone that's a brand new player. Some groups don't want newer players, some groups do. So it's not that bad. I've seen worse, though. Wish more people saw it that way as it is. It's uber DPS to get into a group or get the fuck out. Most of it, even in trials, was going through Lunar Phase on under 50 characters. Yep. Well, this is the thing. VMOR came in when 35k DPS was considered out of this fucking world. And now people want 90k. Why? You don't need it. You definitely don't need it for the newer stuff either. Because the mechanics are quite straightforward. Stack, burn, kill the ads. Stack, burn, kill the ads. People are scared of it, though. Even the speedruns don't require that much. You just have to be careful how you stack everything. What was I doing there? I need more recovery, I guess. Thank you for the follow, much appreciated. Beer and cake, of course, in the chat.
I love winnings.
Was a 35k on a non-trial dummy? Yeah, there was. Thank you very much for the follow. Where's the Lunar Phase? That's VMOR. When you get round past the 8th pad, all the pads glow gold. Everyone has to get on a pad each, apart from the tanks and the healers. And you all have an ad each. The healers and the tanks in the middle keep people alive and or beam the ads. You can only hit the ads that got the beam on them, otherwise they will take normal damage. If you hit them with the beam on them, they'll take loads of damage, and you have to kill them all around the room before the Lunar Phase is over, otherwise everybody gets stunned to the ground, and the remaining enemies will one-shot everybody. So it's been a while playing Classic WoW, so ESO has been put aside. How you doing, Jordan? Welcome to the stream. High DPS requirements should only be in place for score pushing. Even if you're score pushing, some people try to Zerg burn far too much and end up actually wrecking their score because they're dead all the time. It depends. If you follow mechanics clearly and stack things well, especially on ad pulls, you don't necessarily need that much damage. If I'm buffed, I can hit 70 plus k in most PvE content. I'm buffed with 25 to 35k, depending on how I'm actually hitting my rotations. But yeah, people forget 35k on a non-target was long ago. Yeah, exactly. It was a target for a long time ago with no buffs. People forever trying to make shortcuts. Yep. And let's face it, 99.9% of the people claiming X, Y, and Z, and you need this and you need that, are trying to copy the one way that they can't do anyway and still aren't doing it themselves. We say 25 to 30k is enough. I want to do progression runs in my guild, learning mechanics and the likes. 30k is pretty much fine for everything. You won't have any issues with that. Some of the fights might be longer than those that have got 80 to 90k. Sure, that's obvious fucking mechanics. It's obvious that you are going to take longer. But you will see more mechanics, you will learn more how to deal with them, and then when your group has got really high fucking damage and something goes wrong, you'll know how to deal with it rather than just, wipe, we're fucked. There's a big difference to being able to apply a skill level and damage at the same time rather than just nuking it and hoping for the best. Longer fights are more tense. That's true. Stick to the mechanics, you'll be fine. You'll get better over time as far as damage output is concerned. It's a Dark Souls way, yeah indeed. So sorry about VCR, knew all the mechanics for hard mode, but since the guild leadership only wanted everyone to focus on being support for DPS and glass cannons, everyone was dead and the last boss sneezed and could have done hard mode. Instead, we just disbanded. There's a prime example. Let's do this again. Thank you for the follow, by the way, much appreciated. That was actually quite good. I did enjoy that one. Changed to more Master at Arms. We'll see what happens. Ulti build. Then we'll check out that Sork ability. I want to see that before we go too late at night. Sounds like fun. The Lunar Phase is awesome. Very, very cool mechanic. Most people don't know how to do it, though. Heroes Party is the same guild, needs past data to be accepted into a group, but if you're a tank or a healer, you get one shot in public trials run. If you don't perform to the trials leadership satisfaction, you don't get in. Here's the funny thing. Every single person in the game can do this. Social, guild, and create new guild. Everyone can do that. Everyone can be a GM. You know that fucking abbreviation everybody tends to use to, or not abbreviation, acronym if you like, to assert their importance. Everyone can do it. So you do it. Make a guild now with no members and say, hey, I'm a GM. I know everything. You're in exactly the same boat as them. People with 70k plus DPS tend to get bored and find a game boring, just like Capped Baldy feels about fighting, if you get the reference. Bound Armors is a highlight for me. Yeah, I want to see it, so we're going to check it in a minute. We'll mess with this once more. I'm not going to go too far into this. I'll just post stuff to Ninja Chat later when I go really nuts with it. But I do want to see this kind of potential. And we want to see which one of these is stronger. So this would be cool if we could get the breath on here more. But I don't think I can. 6k over 10 seconds. 7k over 14. With an initial hit that is stronger than the other. We might be better off with that. That's lower. Thank you very much for the follow. That's lower with a lower initial hit. But that's 14 seconds. That dot is lower than that one. So we're going to go with the breath anyway. Bollocks to it. That's direct. That's got a higher direct hit, and we did put those into Master at Arms, so that would benefit. Depends on your server, but both are really fast. Alternatively, you can join Ninja Cakes. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. We should be able to keep this up all the time now. Because we've got 2 dots from this skill line that will boost it. First rotation might be tricky. Meh, we'll find out. Seems use a GM status as a way to patronize others, like guys who drive fast cars to compensate for their small penis. Pretty much. It's already gone up. Not the penis, the damage. Pretty sure there's an Ninja Cakes on all platforms. There is. There's one on every single server. You are correct. 14-second duration on that dot is fucking dirty, to be fair. Might be better off with Endless Hail, you know, make just a fucking longer rotation. You might have to go 7 medium to sustain this though, or you might have to use molten armaments and gain from that extra heavy attack damage. You might have to. Oh, it's off balance. Hello, I'll have that. Thank you. Achievement unlocked. OP as fuck. Need more crit chance if I'm using direct damage like that. The new set will do it. Like fucking 2k crit chance, I think it was. You know why they've reduced the dot damage as well, what that's going to affect. If the dot damage is down, especially on Magicka DPS, people will spec less into Thermitage, which means they're less likely to get the benefit from off balance, forcing them to not get that passive unless your group is prepared for it. They hear anything about cross-platform? Nope. This is actually a bit lower with this CP set up this way. Quite a lot lower, actually. I do like the Stone Fist, though. We'll stop there. So speccing into that was obviously still beneficial. Like quite a bit, actually. Maybe we need to balance them out. This didn't go up that much, which was weird. Because that should have boosted Storm Fist or Stone Fist by quite a bit, and it didn't. So we'll balance it. Want to make a combo like Easy Sword or Yogi right now? Have you seen Cleave? That is fucking fun. Need 3 points in there. So we'll take that. Thank you. Okay, one more, then we'll fuck with the Sork, because I do have to see that. The breath obviously didn't work out as well as it should have done. The damage is really nice. Like the initial hit, as is a Stone Fist, that's huge actually. But the dot is shit in comparison. So I think this will be better off. Just gonna make sure the rotation is short. I saw when you're using it, I came back for my summer break. A two-hander. Yeah, it's really fun. Microsoft and Sony removed the cert thing. They can have crossplay. Yeah, it's them two having an argument with themselves. Until you get past them, you ain't getting nowhere. Dark Scorpion, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. I used too many shots then. If you put Endless Hail on there, you could keep 100% uptime on the dots, roughly. And you could get in an extra Stone Fist, but that's expensive. Pushing for a bit more sustain sets. It's still more with a VMA dual wield at the moment, but we've got fuck tons of testing and changing to do anyway. We've got to adapt completely. We're not going to do that in the first half an hour. Neither rear. I'm not selling a build. We're testing the setup, the skills regardless to see what they do. Mixing a bunch of stuff. PTS testing. Yep. This is why I do this off the stream 9 times out of 10, because there's a lot of confusion. Yogi is live, correct? Oh, after the stream, I forgot. Atronach's going live. Should be, unless it's not uploaded properly yet. If it isn't, then we won't be able to, but if it is, we will have to watch it. Wondering if it was adapted. No, it's literally PTS has just landed, so you're not going to see anything substantial right now. I do like this Stone Fist though. Because I want to do Bobo, DK, chucking Stone Fist and things for lols. Good. Right, we're done there. We want to check the Sork anyway. Also could be Briar versus Deadly Strike maybe. No, this is where people... I did say this at the beginning of the stream. People sitting there telling me what to test and all this, that and the other. That's not how it works. I do all that kind of stuff in my own time. So you're kind of just seeing some of the process of us messing with some sets. If everyone asks me to do stuff, I'll never have time to get it done. Elegant was always OP. It fucking always won in there. I do want to see that bound armament stuff. Elegant is meta now. Is it? You wait until they buff the shit out of Elegant one day. I release a video with Elegant and you eat your words. Sork. Max level. Create. No one had that name. Everyone will shit their pants and make an Elegant build. They will. Try Elegant on stamina. I've actually tried it. Depends on your setup, obviously, but you can actually get some decent numbers out of it. Well, you could before, anyway. 10 pieces of Elegant since day one. Good stuff. It's toxic murder of not real build. Correct. Oh, fuck off. Double load screen. Eggs on legs, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. I'm not going to get a lot more time, actually, because we're running out. When you make a build of Elegant, I believe you have been kidnapped and replaced by a mare clone. How would that even work? I should do it just for shits and giggles, make a troll build. Dueling, of course. We need to see what this looks like, because they did mention that this was changed. We're not going to do a full setup, it'd take me too long. You'd main it 100%. Mike could shit himself. It just does. As many people are that weird. It's more for PvP though, isn't it? People just spam overload at you. Used to be really good for Maelstrom. That was when you could hold 1,000 ultimate though. Oh shit. Where is it? Where is it? Daedric summoning. Shit, wrong one. Bound armaments. What do you do? Arm yourself with the power of blah. Your light attacks and heavy attacks make a bound weapon appear. Right, we've got no passives on, we've got no pants on. But activate it. Where's my buff? Shit. I need to change my settings. Combat. That stays on. That stays on. That stays on. That goes to everything. Show. Done. Now we need to punch the target dummy. Pantless armaments is exactly what it is. There's your stuff on the front bar and bow on the back bar. Dude, I did a Stam DK test actually for toxicity. The patch that we're currently in, the live one for Scalebreaker, you know it hits 100k the way it is. I hit 90k on it with a Maelstrom Flame Staff on the back bar. Obviously boosting light attacks inside Wall of Elements. So even though you're on your Stam, on the front, those light attacks were boosted by the back bar weapon. It still worked. I got the P word. Pants. Oh, look at them! Look at the daggers! Look! Look, look, look! Whack him! Oh, that is too fucking cool. Every light attack. Up to 4 daggers. Chuck them at him. That's fucking cool. Said the thing eggs. New day for Stam Socks. Check this shit out. Daggers, look. Flying daggers of death. Zap, zap, zap. That is fucking really good. Could you imagine that in PvP with a bow? In fact, let's put a bow on. It's gotta work. Please don't be just melee. Agility got buffed. We'll just take agility. Agility weapon. Where the fuck is it? Agility weapon. We've got no gear on, so don't judge me. We're going for the effects, nothing else. Here we go, Robin Hood. No fucking way. They do. They do. PvP. Cop that. Boom, 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 boom. Fucking hell. How cool is that? We needed this so long ago. 4 light attacks. Dodge roll the wreck and blow. Throw daggers at them. More light attacks. Throw daggers at them. Too fucking cool. Well done. Well done. All the crying was for nothing because that's fucking awesome. Your main in the Stam Sork. There's a major burst in PvP depending on how strong it is. Well, we could see that. We could mess with it a little bit because we can go with some CPs. 48 should we go? 6 in there. We'll have 51, 61. Did I even put on a Mundustone on that DK? I think I did, didn't I? I'll take these out actually. Need that to be 49. We'll take it out of Thermitage. I do have a Stam DK, not a Stam DK, a Stam Sork build, so we could mess with it. It really doesn't matter where these go, so we'll just chuck them in anyway. What does matter is this one, obviously, because we are using these. How hard does it hit with gear on? What class is this? Sorcerer. New ability. Well, change ability. Look. Light attack, light attack, light attack, light attack. We have flying daggers. Hit him.
I love winnings. Drinks all around.
Thank you very much for the follow. Captain Jack is, of course, on the run. Welcome aboard. Right. We need that stone. Now we need some gear. So please. Where are you? Medium. Dungeons as well. We'll take this first. And we'll take Azure. Because I fucking love it. Should be at the bottom. Don't cover his hairy chest. What's wrong with you? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And Azure, where is it gone? Helmet, shoulders, jewelry. Man, my eyes are pissing with water now because I've been staring at the screen for too long today. Again. Video on weapons, master. two-hander, bow, axe, master's bow, axe. We've got no food yet. Or skills, actually. If you control other daggers. It's not a passive. No, it's really good. Remember what I said earlier? Because this is the thing on PTS. You want to save some time, right? So when you go in here and you buy every passive, you yes or no, done. Yes or no, done. That takes fucking forever. So go into the store. Everything's 1 crown anyway. Go into utility. Buy a respec scroll. You don't have to respec anything. This is just a quicker way of going through your skills. Go into here. So instead of confirming every single bloody skill, done. We are going to check the pet. Because they finally fucking fixed it. I've been after this for ages. Need this. Gate. Don't need any of those. Got those already. So much quicker. We do need this. We also, while we're here, we're going to check the duration of this. Ooh. Liquid Flood went up to 10, and the other one is obviously 12. 14, in fact. Fuck, that's long. We don't need that skill, but it's interesting checking it. Don't need those. Bow, of course, we need these. Poison arrow, can't believe that. Got nerfed to shit. Arrow barrage. Don't need any of that, actually, because we're not using any light. See the patch notes. My whole stream was about it, dude. Of course I did. Wrong one. Don't need those. Do need those. See, so much quicker if you buy the respec scroll first. Vigor doesn't need to go on the bar. Orc we do need, and we need the crafting skills as well. Again, you have to press yes, no every time you do this, but now you just flick through the buttons really fast. Saves so much time. The 3 things that I tend to do on here are alchemy, enchanting, and provisioning. That way I can make any food I want, make any potions I want, and make any glyphs I want really, really fast. The rest of it I just leave it. Clan leader might not be such a bad idea now that clan is expensive skill. Dude, that was already talked about at the beginning of the stream. That's what I tried ages ago, and that's how I realized the clan fear was broken in the first place. Thank you very much for the follow, much appreciated. Don't need those. We done? Oh, dual two-hander. I wasn't going to make another character, but fuck it, we're there. You're thinking out loud. You're repeating what I've already said. Shiny food. We'll make some of this. And some of this. Wrong stuff. Sorry, I missed it now. Take it will be on YouTube. Like seeing your point of view. Pretty much, yeah. I'll think quietly then. How's it thinking? But yeah, they did change it. I already went over it, dude. You might have missed it. Fuck, what am I doing? Bag space. Vampire. That's what I'm looking for. Upgrades. This peanut heal morph costs magical stamina. We're getting there, Bob. Hold on. You have to be patient. If everyone asks me to check stuff, I'll never get through this stuff. This is why I don't like doing these kind of streams. I don't mind doing the patch note stuff, but when it comes to testing stuff, you're going to have to be patient. Clan for his magic, thankfully. Should be still for the heal, but I haven't checked. This is where I forget what the fuck I was doing. What was I doing? Food? Yes. Inventory, supplies, food. There's a spider on the wall. Does anybody want a spider? Else tank sorks wood. Suffer. Not necessarily. They just have to spam Dark Deal a bit more. Or the other one. We need to see how much these daggers hit. You're good, Bob. I just get a lot of people telling me to check stuff, and I'm kind of already in the process of it. Poisons. I'm glad he's fucking stamina, though. That's a big difference. He's supposed to do physical damage all along, but it scaled off the wrong stat. So it was a negative, which was poo-poo. Wrong one. Feck, trying to go too quick. Man, it's fucking hot. 1 second, turn this fan on. On. Sorted. Did I make enough? No. Scales off stamina, laughs at Stamsork. It was supposed to all along, but it didn't. It's been busted for like 2-3 years. Bob was using it, leveling up a character, which was fine, and then it just ended up being just for tanks because of its brokenness. I think I put too much into my pen. That should be sharpened. You should be bloodthirsty. Should be pretty much it. Food is already on. Potions. Skills need to be in the right place. Oh, they changed carve, didn't they? Quite a bit. Who really played the pet Sork role was always more in favour of the Lightning version. We're talking physical pet. Not the scamp. This one got altered as well, but that was fixed because it was buggy. Don't actually need rally or that. That got boosted time-wise, so duration went up, which is nice. 10 seconds instead of 8. So he costs magic, does physical damage. The heal is obviously scaled off of high health and all the rest of it. How much does he do? You. Peanut. Hit him. He won't crit. 2k a hit. 4.6k crit. It's not too bad. Kind of like a dot. Better than it was. That was shit. What's Peanut? That is Peanut. It's like consuming trap. You're good. Yeah, it's not too bad. I mean, it's not great. If you had high crit chance, I mean, it probably wouldn't be too bad. Plus, he does an AoE kind of tail whip as well. But it's better than hitting for like 50, like it was before. It was complete crap. You need to go away, pet. We'll worry about that more later, once we've had time to play. What I want to see is how this this dagger works out with all of our skills on. So, we'll have this here, Hurricane. We can double bar that actually. I don't know if I read it wrong. Skim through the patch notes quickly, but did I see the DK Stonefist morph tone and stamp? Yes, we demonstrated it a few minutes ago. It's really fun actually. It's pretty good. That should be there. That should be there. That should be there. That should be an execute. Carve. Wreck and blow. Wreck and blow is there. Carve is there. Okay, that's basically the setup finished, I think. Maybe? Yep. Now. Bow. 1, 2, 3, 4. Activate. 11k per hit. Critting. I don't need to keep activating that. 3, 4. Holy shit! Imagine that in PvP. And you can activate it whenever. You don't have to activate it when you've got 4. Light attack, fire it. Light attack, fire it. Holy fuck. Oh, it's only 1.7k stamina, so you can basically keep up a light attack rotation, hit and fire, hit and fire, hit and fire, or just stack it, do more light attacks, and every time you've stacked them up, then just release the bastard. You could do it on the back bar and the front. Right, so we're gonna light attack. We'll activate it. Light hit, light hit, light hit, light hit. Fire it, swap bars. Light, light, light. Buff, dot, buff, dot. Fire it again when you swap. Light hit, light hit, light hit. Fire it and swap. Volley, light, poison, light, soul trap, light, hurricane. Fire it before we swap again. Light hit, light hit. This is insane. Fire it before we swap. Holy fucking deed. 4 light attacks on the back, 4 light attacks on the front. Oh my god! That's fucking amazing. Oh man. Zovkin the fuck out of it. Never use a beast trap. Always have minor force. Have higher crit. Don't need the beast trap anyway because it's weaker. And you can constantly put that on each time you swap bars and not need that to swap bars with it. Just redeemed the entire set of patch notes for me. Been waiting for this for years. It's fucking so cool. Stam Sork top DPS now. Ooh, I doubt it, but that's really good. So we would just take that off and go with Zogvins. That's really, really good. Let's reset this dude and do a full one. Before he was hitting about 84, 85 maxed out, except for having ads, obviously, because the more ads, the more explosions happen, blah, 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 blah. If you've watched the video, you know what it does. But, can we get away with it? That's going to be awkward to try and squeeze in. We should have Endless Hail instead, actually. So what just happened? I'm confused. I'm going to have to slow it down a bit. Oh, no, I'm not going to slow it down a bit. I'll explain it once, and then we'll leave it there, because otherwise, if loads of people come in or miss it one at a time, I'm going to risk repeating myself like fuck throughout the stream. Bound Armaments activated. Each light attack makes a flying dagger appear over your head, up to 4. Reactivate it. Fire all the daggers at the target. That's what happens. That's crazy. And I managed to fire off 4 light attacks on the front, then activate and bar swap. 4 light attacks on the back, activate and bar swap. So always guaranteed to fire 4 every half a rotation. So that's crazy. The set is irrelevant right now because this is not a full-on build demonstration. We're messing with a skill. So don't try and go too far ahead and try and get sneaky information. That's not what's happening. We are just messing with the skills. And this is fucking nuts. But if you do want the build as it stands at the moment, someone get Cleave in the chat. That is actually a build. This dagger throwing, however, is new. So Grim Focus. Not exactly. Grim Focus is 1 hit. This is 4. So attacks have to be consecutive. Yes, they do. Well, not straight away. No, you can put skills in between. It's not bad. It would take some tweaking, but it's working. Now that looks like you have to reapply it because it does run out. Even if you activate it to get rid of the daggers. It does have a duration by itself. So after 40 seconds you do have to reapply it again. But it's fucking nuts. Right, let's get rid of that. Build is not important. Fact is, you can keep it up in a rotation. I have some more daggers. Fire! That's nuts. That is really fun. You could just light attack, fire one, light attack, fire one, light attack, fire one. It's actually pretty cool. Damn Sork on now, right blades, I love it. Night blades even? Not really. But it's fun. We need to see how hard they're hitting. Obviously, that's not a full fucking proper demonstration, but we need to see how hard they're hitting on average. Taking into account this doesn't have a lot of weapon damage.
I love winnings. Drinks all around.
10k Instacast spammable. Yep, and it's cheap too. Bianco, thank you very much. Is that Bianco or Blanco? It's Blanco, sorry, my bad. Oh, I didn't set up combat metrics, my bad. Settings, controls. Did it on the other character instead. There you go. Where is it? Ooh, 12.9? That's during a rotation without Dawnbreaker Runner, without any extra buffs or bonuses or any of that shit. So that's not too bad. And that fires 4 at a time. So that's not actually that bad. I bet you can boost it to a shit ton. Fuck tons of Master at Arms, shit tons of weapon damage. We're only on 4.5 at the minute anyway, because we're not fully set up. That's got some potential. Man, PvP, that's going to be dirty as fuck. They can't get you. Building up light attacks and then just have some daggers. Dodge roll. Have a dagger. You can fire it whenever you want as well. You don't have to stack 4. No, I like that. I really like that. Also, the Clan Fear can be annoying as well because he now does physical damage and he can get in the way. So you could have a Stam Pet Sork, hide behind your fucking pet with negate bubbles and shit, and just launch daggers at people from long range.
I love winnings. Drinks
Proper
all
hunter
around.
setup. Bobo fucking Stam Sork for PvP with a Clan Fear who can heal you and distract targets. You wanna know what to get? Get an update next update. Thank you for the follow, much appreciated. Bit and cake in the chat. Rich, what the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? Here's a scenario for you. We just now explained this on the stream already. Long range Bobo Stam Sork with a Clan Fear pet being a distraction while you literally just do this and then throw daggers. Oh my god. It's fucking insane. Are you enjoying the Stam Sork changes? Fuck yeah I am. This is the thing, we tested it a minute ago. Rotation based on a setup I'm already using. So it's not important of the overall outcome, but application. So front bar, we activated it, and it was basically 4 light attacks, which was enough to get the procs. Fire it, swap. Back bar, light, 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 light. Fire it again, light 4 times with our spammable.
I love winnings. Drinks all around.
Fire it and swap. Guaranteed 100% uptime each front bar and back bar rotation. Already. That's brilliant. JD, you legend, thank you very much for the host. Hugely appreciate beer and cake in the chat. That's really, really fun. And finally, after like 2 or 3 years, you fix the Clan Fear so that his physical damage is scaled off of physical stats. Which is good. We still need to mess with him and see how hard we can make him hit. But he is a distraction. It is a pet. It does work with a stamina setup. So we don't just have to have the bear for Yogi.
I love winnings. Drinks all around.
Bobo coming. Fuck yeah. It's really good. The fact that you can just run around with it and just launch it. What did we hit a minute ago? 12.9Ks with him. And it fires 4 at a time. I'm really impressed. Dot damage took a bit of a slap. But then again, the overall output that you can apply damage-wise, I mean, it's going to come down. Sure. But you don't need it to be that high anyway. That's it. I'm making a Stam Sork. It's not out yet. They might still change it. They might revert it and go, do you know what? We don't like the daggers anymore. Fuck you. They might. I hope they don't. Check this. Nail them down. Throw fucking daggers at them. Oh, shit the bed. Happy. So if you, this is nothing to do with the build because it's not alive yet, but if you haven't seen that particular Stam Sork build, put Cleve in the chat. Stop the stream so they don't see how good they are. I'm now stopping the stream anyway because it's 2 o'clock in the morning and I still haven't done the premiere for the Atronach build, which is now coming up. So if you are interested in that, keep your eyes peeled for the YouTube update. You'll be able to watch the video live with everyone and the chat will be open as well. So that's kind of a new thing for the channel. Every single build video will go on Patreon first for 2-day early access. Then it goes live on YouTube, but the first initial showing of it is actually live.
I love winning.
Right,
Drinks all
I have a
around.
lot of work to do behind the scenes with all the new updates and stuff. You saw a little bit of messing around, but there's a lot of new stuff to come. They probably will change a lot of shit drastically. And if anyone's crying their eyes out, fuck them, just let them cry. Or get them a dummy or something, shut them up.
I love winnings.
Don't
Drinks
worry.
all around.
So far, so good. DK on its actual flat, this is what we're already using, was hitting 100k, now he's on 75 plus. That's not the end of the world. 75k is a fuck ton of damage. You don't need it to be any higher anyway. But I'm sure it'll change. Anyway, thank you for the follows. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the host. Thank you for sticking with me while I'm trying to not lose my shit over the cool new stuff. And of course, ignore the crybabies. Stay awake if you can for the host, which I'm now going to do. And of course, the premiere of the Atronach, which will be in about 10 minutes. So, once again, thank you all very, very much for watching. I hugely appreciate the support. If you're not subscribing on YouTube or following on Twitch, please do hit those buttons. They are free. Furthermore, if you want to help support outside of the channel, there are some links in the it's not description, it's info section on Twitch for Patreon, Twitter, Facebook, and of course the website XynodeGaming.com. Once again, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.
I love winnings. Drinks all around. I love winnings. Drinks all around.
God that the brothers on the rise now. Endless celebrations all in my house. Levitating now, I'm super duper fly now. London boy, but DC where I reside now. Put the time in while you always yelling time out. And to quit it, cause I know I'm coming with it. You were sitting, you were wishing I was handling my business. Now I got the ball like Harry Potter playing Quidditch. And my business is humongous, you would think that happens in there. Oh man, I'm all that, yeah, I'm all that. Looking for that whip, yeah, that what you call that. I'ma blow up in the summer, have them yelling fall back. And I've always been ahead like an effing ball cap. Man, I came in the game like, whoa. Got a couple chains on me cause I like gold. They told me I'm the best and I told them I know. Cause when I'm in your town, every ticket I sold. Yeah, they saying I'm the man. Facts, bro. Lot of haters, tell me where they at though. I'm the new pop, all I do is rap though. Want me on your song, throw a couple stacks, yo. Woo! Everybody wanna do the same thing. Yup, that's why we ain't on the same page. Do my own thing, and I maintain. Flow like water, so I'm going mainstream. I'm going mainstream. Flow like water, so I'm going mainstream. Yeah, I'm going mainstream. Flow like water, so I'm going mainstream. I'm going mainstream. Mainstream. Flow like water, so I'm going mainstream. Yeah. I'm going mainstream. Damn. Flow like water, so I'm going mainstream. Woo. so I'm going mainstream.